Spencer ready to kick off. The deep man is Mike Nelms. He's been back there all year long. Nelms at the goal line. And they go with the reverse on the opening kickoff. Monty Coleman, a linebacker, on the reverse from Nelms, takes it to the 36-yard line. Redskins fans love it, quite obviously, but we've got an argument going on at the center of the field. And let's see if we've got an infraction here on the opening kickoff. I don't see a flag. The referee is Fred Silva as Mike Ditka looks on. No flags. It'll be 1st and 10 Redskins at their 36-yard line. Joe Theismann at quarterback. John Riggins, the one-back set. Calvin Muhammad and Art Monk outside. Didier and Warren, the tight ends. And the Redskins offensive line, the celebrated Hogs. 1st and 10 as the Redskins open with a surprise. A reverse on the opening kickoff. Theismann comes out throwing. It's Art Monk, the bread and butter man, at the 43-yard line for about 7. Defensively, for the Chicago Bears, Mike Hartenstein, who was questionable up until the start of the game, Steve McMichael, Dan Hampton, and Richard Dent. The front four, the linebackers, Otis Wilson, Mike Singletary, and Al Harris. You could find them just about anywhere. Mike Richardson, Terry Schmidt in the secondary. Schmidt filling in for Leslie Frazier, who is injured, and Todd Bell and Gary Fenson are the safeties. 2nd and 2, Riggins across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Redskins are in Bear territory on the opening series in just 2 plays. Fenson coming up from the secondary to make the stop, number 45. Most beneficial, probably, by the 2-week period has been Riggins.
Oh, he's had the time to rest. His back get better. He told me yesterday, he says, Coach, I feel better right now than I felt any time this year. I'm ready to play.
Muhammad wide to the right side. Art Monk in the slot at the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10 from the 48 of the Bears. Riggins will take it inside the 45 to the 44. A pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd down 6. Hartenstein, the left end defensively, a 10-year man from Penn State, making the stop on Riggins. John, 35 years old, became the oldest rusher in the history of the National Football League this year to gain 1,000 yards. John Henry Johnson did it when he was 35 years 1 month, or 35 years and 3 months. Riggins did it 35 years and 1 month. 2nd and 6, Redskins at the Bear 44. Didier, the tight end, is split out wide to the right side. Wide open on the left side is Calvin Muhammad. 1st down, Redskins at the Bear 35. And Tepper's beginning to flare. Number 25 is Todd Bell, the Pro Bowl safety for the Chicago Bears. A little bit of a safety, a little bit of a linebacker, too, isn't he, the way they play him?
He's the guy that they use both as a safety in their regular defense, a strong safety, Frank, and then they move him to the weak side linebacker in what they call their 46 defense. I think right now the Bears better relax a little bit. It looks like they want to throw some punches a little too early in this ball game. Direct that emotion and tension in that to the Redskins.
Muhammad to the right side, Monk in the slot, quick count to Riggins. And Riggins drives to the 30-yard line. As the Redskins continue to march unrelentlessly down the field.
Taking a look at this now. Watch the reverse pivot. He gets it deep. See the hole? He gets right in there. Now he cuts right back off. Mike Hartenstein comes in from the backside and makes the play. You can see that was a nice shot, Frank. Oh, Mike, he's chewing that gum right now.
Sharpen early. 2nd down 5 as Joe Gibbs looks on from the other side of the field. Redskins at the Bear 30-yard line. Pounding away with Riggins, and this time the Bears get him behind the line of scrimmage. Hampton was through there quickly, number 99, along with Otis Wilson, number 55, the left side linebacker. Riggins will come out in the passing situation as the Redskins are looking at 3rd down and 6 from the 32.
Frank, we just saw Joe Washington go into the ball game, and he really is more healthy today than he's been all year, and he could be a big factor against this man-to-man coverage coming out of the backfield.
3rd Redskins. Now, the Redskins haven't shown the shotgun all year. We saw him practice it on Friday. Joe Gibbs reportedly does not believe in it, but here it is. And look out. Theismann got away from the first man, and he's got the first down, hitting Muhammad at the 25-yard line.
You talk about poise under pressure. There's where experience comes in. A younger quarterback might have flushed right when he saw that defender coming down the throat. Take a look at this now. See the quarterback, number 7. Now see the stunt right there. Didn't get picked up. McMichaels is right there. He dodges him. He lays it off to the outside. Maintaining poise under pressure. Critical in a ball game like this.
Well, that's where your playoff experience pays off. Heisman 3 out of 3 for 23 yards. Redskins with the first down at the Bear 25-yard line. They've taken the opening kickoff, and they haven't given it up. Joe Washington to about the 20. Excellent ball control drive. Of course, the Redskins are just unbelievable here at RFK Stadium. They won their last 4 games of the regular season, 6 out of 7, 7 straight at home, and 16 of the last 17 at RFK.
Frank, a lot has been said about the Redskins' injury problems, but you know what I saw in film? People taking injured players' places in the lineup and now playing that position better than the guy that was playing. They may be a better team today.
One case in point, the center Rick Donnelly, who replaced Joe Bostic, who went out with a knee injury. 2nd and 5, Riggins got a couple of those 5 to the 18-yard line. If it gets down to a field goal situation, the Redskins, of course, will go to Mark Mosley, who has hit his last 6 field goal attempts, including the one that won the division for the Redskins against the St. Louis Cardinals here 2 weeks ago. 3rd down, 3. You remember Mr. Mosley, don't you?
I'll tell you, he has 14 kicks in his career that have won the game in the final seconds, and he did that to the Eagles, the team that I was coaching, 4 times. He just sort of irritates me to look at it.
3rd down. Let's call it 4. Needed for the first down. Redskins at the Bear 19. Theismann saw it, got it away, but had to throw it away. In effect, as he couldn't reach the intended receiver, who was Charlie Brown. We've got a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Might have been offside, Frank. I think the safety was offside.
That's the preliminary indication. And on a 3rd and 4, how much more critical could a penalty be?
Number 25, offside. First down.
How many times this year have we seen a safety called for being offside? That's the first time. Here it is on the left corner of your screen. See Todd Bell, 25, coming up. Joe senses him coming, lays it up over the receiver to his right, takes a shot in the back. Good legal hit, but the guy was offside. It's a defensive back, offside.
And that, of course, gives the Redskins the first down with the nose of the football just inside the Bears' 15-yard line.
Maybe a little too anxious right now, Frank, the Bears are.
Warren, the tight end, is in motion. Riggins to the 10 to the 9-yard line. Redskins have owned the ball for the first 6 minutes of the football game.
Watch the man, Don Warren, number 85, come in motion. Now, he's their best blocker. He's going to kick out at the point of attack. Boom, watch him. Right there, gets a nice block on Hartenstein. He turns up inside. Riggins gets those shoulder pads down. Tough to bring down.
You normally follow that motion man for the Redskins, and he'll pretty well take you to the ball.
Especially if it is Don Warren, their best blocker.
Riggins over the middle. Stopped at the 6-yard line. Steve McMichael, number 76. Riggins getting a lot of work in this opening drive. He's already carried it 7 times for 23 yards.
Frank, when you've scored 96 running touchdowns in your career, you know where the end zone is, so they're going to give it to John Riggins in this area.
A lot of folks wondering if this is going to be it for Riggins, or if he's going to come back next year. And he says if his back bothers him as much as it did this year, you may not see him beyond this season.
Every time I talk with him, he wants to talk about going hunting. This guy loves to hunt.
3rd down, 4 needed for the first down. The Redskins at the Bear 8. Didier in motion this time. Theismann rolling out, going for the corner, incomplete. Charlie Brown was the intended receiver, and Mike Richardson, the left corner, was there to knock it down.
Charlie Brown is one of the guys that's been injured that really is not yet 100%. He's only about at 85% efficiency right now, but still a fine player. This guy has made many big plays. Take a look at this at ground level now. Joe had moved out to his right. He has Charlie out there. He just gets it, trying to get it a little bit outside, but a nice play by the defender there, Mike Richardson. He's knocked down a lot of balls in his career.
Mosley, 24 out of 31 on the year. This effort from 25 yards. Straight as an arrow. So the Redskins open with an impressive drive that eats up the first 7 minutes and 3 seconds of the football game, along with Dick Vermeil at RFK Stadium, first period. And the Redskins lead the Bears 3-0. Everybody was talking big plays yesterday, and that was a grind-em-out type drive.
That was a grind-em-out drive, and we'll see more of that, but I think the Bears might commit more people to stop that running game.
Willie Gault on the left and Dennis Gentry on the right as Hayes kicks off for the Redskins. Gault has not returned a kickoff this year. From the 5, 15, 20, 25, 30, and Gault with that tremendous speed out to the 35-yard line. He'll be their primary returner today, where he hasn't been all year. He did return kicks last year, 34 on that return. Steve Fuller at quarterback, replacing the injured Jim McMahon. Matt Suhey and Walter Payton, the running backs. Willie Gault and Dennis McKinnon, who's operating with a knee problem at the wide receiver. Jim Covert is their best offensive lineman. He'll be joined by Bortz, Hilgenberg, Becker, Van Horn, and Emery Moorhead will be the tight end. Bears' first possession of the day. 1st and 10 at their 34. Payton in motion. Fuller hands off to Suhey. And Suhey propels out to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 6 on that play. It'll be 2nd down 4.
They're coming right after Dave Butts here right now. Now you watch big Kurt Becker, 79. He turns him out right there, and he cuts right back behind Dave. Dexter Manley folded back from the outside and just tripped him up. I tell you, if you can block Dave Butts, you can block a bulldozer.
Everybody looking for Payton that time, and Suhey, who is more noted for his blocking than his running, taking the handoff. 2nd and 4. Bears at their 40. Here's Payton. First carry of the day. And Walter Payton has got a first down for the Chicago Bears as he takes it across the 50-yard line to the 49-yard line of the Redskins. An 11-yard pickup. Defensively, for the Redskins, they played a standard 4-man front. Charles Mann, Dave Butts, Darrell Grant, and Dexter Manley. The 3 linebackers, Kaufman, Olkowitz, and Millot. And the deep men are Darrell Green and Vernon Dean at the corners, and Ken Coffey and Curtis Jordan, the safeties.
Frank, they're flopping Darrell Green with Willie Gault, number 83, wherever he goes.
Fuller back to throw. Millot will throw untouched and sacks him back at the 40-yard line. So the sack game has begun with advantage Redskins.
The play action away. Now watch 57, center your screen. No one picks him up. That's a mistake in protection, or they had a hot read that he didn't read, but it's hard to have a hot read on play action. Good job by Rich Millot. That was a gift, really. When no one blocks you, you ought to get to the quarterback.
Loss of 10 on the play. It'll be 2nd down 20. Steve Fuller, quarterbacking the Chicago Bears 1 year ago today, was on the bench of the Los Angeles Rams, never got into the ballgame as the Redskins beat the Rams in the playoff 51-7. And here he is starting 1 year later. Suhey out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Neil Olkowitz, number 52, the middle linebacker, joined by Millot on the tackle for the Chicago Bears. Last time the Bears were here, they actually beat the Redskins. That was back in 1978. John Riggins has gone to the oxygen early. One thing with missing all the practices, his conditioning is really not up to par.
Not as good as you'd like it to be, but now with Joe Washington, Frank, being healthy, they can rotate those guys in there a little bit. I think he'll be fresh enough to play well all through the ballgame.
3rd down, 14 for the Bears at their 46-yard line. They trail 3-0. Dennis McKinnon in motion, number 85 from the shotgun. Fuller, who can run well, still looking for help and overthrows Matt Suhey. So the Bears will be punting, and the Redskins defense gets a standing ovation as it leaves the field.
a design rollout. He wasn't flushed. I think he was told to by the huddle call to go ahead, set initially, and then go on out and get out there away from the rush.
Finzer to punt. Nelms is deep. Finzer, according to Mike Ditka, is absolutely the best in the NFL in putting the ball inside the 20-yard line.
He's put 26 of them inside the 20, Frank. That's darn good work.
Nelms will field this at the 8, 10. And there's another one inside the 20 for Mr. Finzer as he is clobbered at the 13-yard line by Wilber Marshall, the #1 draft pick, rookie linebacker of the Chicago Bears. 45 on the punt, 54 on the return. Timeout. Welcome back to RFK Stadium. 4 minutes, 58 seconds left to play in the opening period as you look at Dave Butts of the Redskins defense taking a breather right now with his team's offense on the field. And Washington will put it in play at their own 15-yard line. Last time they had the football, they ran up 7 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock en route to the 25-yard field goal. Here's Theismann going long for Muhammad, who can't catch it in front of the Redskin bench. Mike Richardson was back there defending. One big factor in these clubs, and I don't know how big a factor you feel it is playoff experience, and the edge certainly goes to the Redskins.
No question. As you look at right here on your screen, games played 46 for the Bears, 264 by the Redskin roster. I think it is a big advantage. I think it's also an advantage for the coaching staff, and I can only relate that in regard to my own experience, Frank. I felt myself and my coaching staff did a better job of preparing a playoff team each year we made the playoffs.
Interesting that 28 of the 46 games of the Bears belong to two players who were with the Cowboys, Jay Saldi and Andy Frederick. 2nd and 10, Riggins over the left side and shoved back after gaining just a yard or two. Dan Hampton, number 99, leading the defensive charge. Boy, you talk tough. Dan Hampton has on his body 200 assorted stitches from football injuries going back quite a few years.
He gets fired up when you talk to him, doesn't he? He's had 400 cc's of fluid taken off his knee this year. He's not 100%, but he lines up and plays.
Yeah, he said that's just about a six-pack.
That's just about a six-pack, he said.
3rd down. Redskins need 8 for the first down. Ball is at their 16-yard line, and again, the Redskins showing the shotgun for the very first time this season. High snap to Theismann is in trouble. Uses his great mobility to get out of it and runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line. We got a flag tossed over on the far side. Theismann does not mind the idea, the shotgun at all, with his mobility.
I think it's a real advantage. Of course, you know, I stole the shotgun from Dallas Cowboys and from Buffalo when Chuck Knox was there, and it was a big advantage to us because it gave the quarterback a cushion. It kept the defenders away from him.
Number 95, offside, 3rd down.
That's the big man of the Chicago Bears, Richard Dent, number 95, who leads the NFC in sacks this year with 17.5, just in his 2nd year.
He's from Tennessee State, and a great pass rusher. Name the other great pass rusher that came out of that school. Remember old Claude Humphrey?
How about Ed Too-Tall Jones? Didn't be bad either.
Yeah, not too bad. Some great defensive linemen.
3rd down. Redskins need 3 for the first down at their 21. They lead it 3-0 with 4:02 left in the opening period. Bill Washington has replaced Riggins. Theismann gets the pass away to Monk and completes it for the first down at the 39-yard line. Todd Bell and Gary Fensick were back there, but not before the combination clicked for 17. And good job by Theismann to evade the oncoming number 55 of the Chicago Bears, Otis Wilson.
The Redskins did a nice job of picking up the rush from that variation defense that the Bears play, and it's so different, what they call the 46 defense. The Redskins are calling it the Dubs defense, meaning double linebackers over on one side.
1st and 10 for the Redskins at their 39. Charlie Brown wide to the left side. Monk is set in the slot up at the top of your screen. Riggins, the handoff from Theismann, running into trouble behind the line of scrimmage, and is dropped back at the 37 by Mike Hartenstein. Tough customer.
Steve McMichael, number 76, the defensive left tackle, got some penetration. I think somebody made a blocking mistake or just missed him in there because he had penetration into that backfield.
So a loss on the play moves the ball back to the 37-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 12 for the Redskins. Joe Theismann this season set records for pass attempts, for pass completions, for yardage passing, all former Redskin records held by Sonny Jurgensen. Monk in motion. Theismann under pressure, delivers. Monk had one hand on it, but couldn't pull it down. Defended against by Todd Bell, the strong safety. They are coming after Theismann.
They're coming after him. Now watch now Joe right here. See, he's taking it, dropping back. He has good initial protection. He's looking to his left. Now you see McMichael coming around the outside. He has to get rid of that ball because here comes the Danimal, Dan Hampton. They call him the Danimal. D-A-N-I-M-A-L, Danimal.
Just an old Arkansas rancher. He told us got a little farm down there. He doesn't consider himself a farmer because a farmer, he says, puts his hand down in the dirt.
Yeah, he says he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He has a racehorse in partnership with Buddy Ryan, the defensive coordinator here with the Bears.
3rd down, 12. Redskins at their 37-yard line. And the Bears with 6 defensive backs. Theismann having trouble finding somebody open. Going to run for the first down. He's out to the 50, and that should be just enough for the first down. Joe Theismann says, I'll do it myself.
Watch this guy. He gets the shotgun snap. Now see the cushion he has initially. Nobody around him. Nobody around him. Now he's flushed. He sees the hole because everyone playing man coverage. He gets going. Now he's going to get down right there before he can take the direct shot. He has scrambled 62 times this year for an average of 5.1 yards a scramble. That's good running for a quarterback.
Redskins continue to do an excellent job of ball control. First down from midfield. 1:35 left in the quarter and counting. They're coming after Riggins, and this time Hampton lands on top of Theismann back at the 40-yard line. Of course, Joe's got to be a little shell-shocked. Last 2 ball games of the regular season, he was sacked a total of 14 times.
Right, and in talking to the coaches about it, wait a minute, I'll come back. Here you can see, now watch the people commit to the rush. Here comes number 50, Singletary. See him there? He's in after him. Dan Hampton right there. Nice little cross charge that was not picked up properly. Take another look at this now. Watch right over the ball. 76, Rick. See, he's got him one way. Huff, 61 moves over there. And I really think that Rick Donnelly, 76, should have stayed with Dan Hampton longer.
Redskins now looking at a 2nd and 19 with the nose of the ball just beyond their own 40. Theismann stepping up in the pocket, drills the sideline throw at the 50-yard line to Monk, who gets into Chicago Bear territory at the 49. So they got about 10 back, and they're looking now at a 3rd and 9.
Frank, getting back to what we were talking about, the Redskins' problem with the sack the last 2 ball games, Coach Gibbs told me, he said, Dick, the people have just made a commitment to rushes. And not always be the soundest in terms of coverage, but they've given away a little bit in coverage to add more pressure, and it's helped them sack us, but we've also still won the football game.
You saw the signals sent into Joe Theismann. 3rd down 9, Mike Ditka. 3rd year as head coach of the Chicago Bears, has done a marvelous job. High snap again to Theismann out of the shotgun, pulls it down, hits Joe Washington at the 45, and Washington will be very close for the first down. Looks like he's about a yard short at the 41-yard line. So now, first big decision of the game for Joe Gibbs. Depends here where they spot it, but I think they're going to be a little short. What do you do?
I'm trying to see how much room they have here. I think I'd go ahead and go for it, Frank, because you're not going to gain much, especially if you punt them into the end zone. You're going to gain 20 yards. And these guys, the whole attitude, as Irv Cross so beautifully expressed it prior to the game, there is tension in the air, and they're just going to play football.
4th and a yard for the first down at the Bear 41. 2 backs set here with Wansley joining Riggins. It is Riggins for the first down. Plowing his way over the left side down to the 36-yard line of the Chicago Bears. 39 seconds left to play in the opening period, and the Redskins lead 3-0. Mike Ditka, you saw a moment ago, as we said, has done an amazing job since he arrived in Chicago. He's replaced 14 of 22 starters. As the injured Redskin, I think we can show you maybe too graphically what happened to him on that last play.
Here you'll see Riggins carrying the ball. Now follow John. He cuts back inside here. He's starting to plow his way up. You see a lineman standing right there. That's Huff. Now watch him come right down on his left ankle right there. Oh, that's a vicious shot. I hope it didn't break his ankle. He's down right now, though. Kenny Huff is filling in for the injured right guard, or actually right tackle, right, Frank?
Huff, the injured Redskin, they've already put an inflatable cast on his leg. Could be a broken ankle from all appearances. He was a #1 pick of the Colts back in 1975. That year, Steve Bartkowski was the first man picked in the draft. Randy White was second, Huff was third, and Walter Payton was fourth.
Boy, you're really coming up with some, you're laying some
I thought you might be interested.
You're laying some words on him.
Now, he replaces another man. This is a great deal of reshuffling that the Redskins have to do in this offensive line.
Right, he plays backup right guard. Mark May normally plays the starting right guard. Mark May is starting at right tackle for the injured George Stark. Now Mark May will go back to right guard, and Morris Towns, number 62, will come in and play right tackle.
Who was activated just yesterday. 1st and 10 Redskins at the 38. They give it to Riggins. He's inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. The Redskins have now run off 23 plays here in the first quarter to the Bears' 5. And that play will take us to the end of the quarter. So at the end of one at RFK Stadium, the Washington Redskins, on the strength of a 25-yard field goal by Mark Mosley, lead the Chicago Bears 3-0. Frank Labor along with Dick Vermeil. Second quarter about to get underway at RFK Stadium in this NFC Divisional Championship matchup. There is Ken Huff in the X-ray room. You know, each NFL team is required now to have the capability of doing X-rays right at the stadium. And he's getting that plastic cast removed and will get his ankle X-rayed somewhere in the bowels of RFK Stadium. 2nd and 7. Redskins at the Bear 34-yard line. Art Monk, the man in motion. Theismann with the fake to Riggins, goes to the near side and throws it in front of Charlie Brown. Now, if ball control is the name of the game, you have to like the chances of the Washington Redskins after viewing that first quarter.
Oh, my gosh. The Chicago Bears have had the ball 2 minutes, 59 seconds, in contrast to the Redskins, 12 minutes. Jerry Rome, the quarterback coach, is sitting in the press box here next to us. He said in the first quarter they were going to use different sets, sort of feel out the Bears, pound at them, see what they're doing, see what the adjustments they're making, and then come after them with some big plays.
Redskins with a 3rd and 7. They'd like to get it a little closer to get within Mosley's range. From this point, he's looking at a 50-yard field goal. From the shotgun on 3rd down, Theismann again, big rush on him, gets it away. Washington is really clobbered. Let's see if it's ruled an incompleted pass or a fumble.
It's an incomplete pass.
Todd Bell, number 25, the safety came in and lowered the boom on little Joe Washington, who's being helped to his feet. He took a tremendous shot.
They called that a fumble? I hope some official saw that the way we saw it.
They are calling it apparently a fumble.
I didn't see it that way.
They're giving the football to the Bears on a fumble recovery. Watch it again.
Here, you know, you see Joe back in the shotgun. You see people coming after him. Everybody picked up inside. Rick there picks up a guy. Now he moves out there. There's the ball. Ooh, boy, I'll tell you, was that a vicious hit? I don't know if that was a completed pass or not. Let's see. Let's take another look now. Joe's sliding to his left. He's looking for Joe. Joe moved to the inside. Hartenstein, number 73, was out there on him. Now here he comes. Yeah, it looks like he had the ball long enough to be called a fumble. Definitely. Good call by the officials.
And the Bears recovered the fumble and will have the football 1st and 10 at their 38 when we come back right after this. Their own 38-yard line. Second play of the second quarter. Cut at the fumble recovery a moment ago to Otis Wilson. The Bear linebacker. Steve Fuller at quarterback. They've got Suey and Payton in the eye. Takes the handoff, 40, 45. Walter Payton has a first down for the Chicago Bears as he clears it out to the 49-yard line for a pickup of 12 yards.
Mark Bort, 62, the left guard, and Jim Covert, 74, did a nice job of just coming straight off and knocking people off the ball. Let's take a look at big Jim Covert here, right on the left side of the screen, number 74 on Dexter Manley. See him turn him out there right now. He turned him out. Now a linebacker's got to fill that. He didn't get there. Therefore, the nice long run by Walter Payton.
And the Bears with a first down with the nose of the football just in their end of the field. McKinnon to the right side. As Fuller looks over the traditional 4-3 defensive alignment by the Washington Redskins. Fuller back to throw. Protection good. Airs it out. He's got McKinnon. McKinnon makes the catch at the 17-yard line. That's a first down for the Chicago Bears. McKinnon, who had his knee scoped just 3.5 weeks ago and is back in action. Vernon Dean was back defending number 32.
Now watch the play action pass freeze the defense. See, he fakes the, there he goes, fakes to Walter. You have to acknowledge Walter. Now he goes back to the corner to Dennis McKinnon, who was one-on-one with Vernon Dean, and he beat him cleanly. Get on him, Vernon. He can get up and run. Here's Vernon Dean right now. He's going in motion just to loosen him up. He's still right there. Now he gives him a move to the post. He takes the corner move. Vernon Dean did a little too much. Nice pattern by a guy coming off knee surgery.
36-yard pickup on the play by the Bears and a first down at the Redskin 15-yard line. Suey in motion, Payton up the middle. Down to the 10-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play. It'll be second down 5 as Charles Mann, number 71, makes the stop. Walter Payton, what else can you say about him this year? He has done it all for the Chicago Bears, beaten Jim Brown's all-time NFL rushing record. He's going to leave a mark for him. He's only 30 years old and he expects to play several more years. When you consider that he's done all these things, really with ordinary teams in the past, with the inadequate passing and sporadic blocking, even more amazing. Second down 6. Ball is at the Redskins 11. McKinnon in motion. Fuller. Handing the football off, and there's nothing there that time as Dexter Manley, who was taken out of the play a moment ago, came back that time and made the stop.
He came back roaring. He must have taken a wide outside charge, and Covert couldn't get to him. Let's take a look at Dexter right now. Here's a guy that's just recently married, mature. No one blocked him here. It was going to be a running back blocking. I can see what happened. They missed him. Walter Payton, number 34, missed what they call a bin block, back on a down lineman, and allowed him to get into the backfield.
So move it back to the 16-yard line. On 3rd and 12, Payton throws the pass. He tried to get it to Fuller, the quarterback, who came out of the backfield on the other side, and Fuller claimed he was being held up, but no flag.
That was a safety blitz. Curtis Jordan got the heat on him. I think he just threw the ball away and got away with it. Good pressure by Curtis Jordan.
Fuller did not go out unnoticed.
Curtis Jordan, number 22, the right side of the screen. No one picks him up. See him right here? Here he goes. He's got him into the backfield. He's going to throw the ball back to the quarterback. He couldn't do it.
Did you see who was down there with Fuller? Dexter Manley.
Dexter Manley. Good discipline in his coverage.
Bob Thomas. 34-yard field goal attempt. Bashnagle to hold to tie the game. It's good. And we've got a tie football game. Thomas, who hit 22 out of 28 this year, and has now made his last 12 field goals. Knots it up at 3-3. 2 minutes, 29 seconds left to play in the first half. The score tied at 3, and here is an x-ray of Ken Huff's ankle.
Take a look right here. Evidently a break in this bone right here. Feel bad for Ken Huff. See it right there?
Finzer will kick off. It's a break of the fibula, according to the x-ray technician. We're not doing our own diagnosing up here. Nelms at the 10, 20, 25. Nelms at the 30. Finzer in to help make the stop at the 36-yard line as Nelms came close to breaking it. He and Dave Dorison, number 22, in the stop. The Bears 3, the Redskins 3, and a spring-like day at RFK Stadium. Timeout in Washington. All the preparations going on around the Capitol for the inauguration in several weeks. Redskins 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Score tied at 3. second period action. Riggins across the 40 to the 45-yard line. We've got a penalty marker dropped on the play. So a flag is down at the point where you normally expect the holding call to come from. And let's see if that's the way that Fred Silva, the referee, has it diagnosed. Redskins, by the way, say officially broken ankle for Ken Huff.
Offense, number 85, holding. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Here's Don Warren on the right-hand side of your screen, coming off right there. See his hands, left hand there, hooked on Richard Dent right there. Now he hooks him again. Oh, now Dent has a hold of him. But he definitely had a good handful of the jersey there at the initial part of that block.
Walkoff will move it back to the 30-yard line, where it'll be first down and 16. Didier is split wide to the left side for the Washington Redskins. Theismann handing off to Riggins. And Mike Singletary, the middle linebacker, was ready for him, and not much there for the Redskin running back, who's now carried 14 times for 35 yards. Theismann has hit 7 out of 11 for 62 yards. You know, every time I look at Jacoby, I can't believe how big he is.
Oh, my gosh.
What is
I know.
305, 310 pounds?
305 pounds, and he's not fat. He's just big.
Joe Jacoby, free agent. They say that he went to a masquerade party with a white sheet draped over him, disguised as Alaska.
Oh, where do you get these?
That's
Frank?
big. I mean, that is big.
Yeah, you're going to lower our ratings. with
Second
stories
down,
like
16. He's big enough.
Here's the 46 defense, Frank.
Monk, man in motion. Theismann has it blocked. Up for grabs, but the Bears couldn't find it. Singletary tried to run it down. Now, you say 46 defense. What are you talking about?
That's when they have everybody up there, all the linebackers to one side. Well, all linebackers to one side, and it's a problem. Take a look at Al Harris, number 90. Big guy, has been a defensive end. This is his first full year as playing a linebacker. He's a giant as a linebacker, 6'5", 250 pounds. Tough to get the ball over his head.
What does that 46 defense make you do?
Well, usually it makes you run away from the overshifted defense, meaning run away from the strength of the defense and then throw the football second.
It is third down and 16 for the Redskins, who are at their own 30-yard line. Score tied at 3. 10:31 left to play in the first half. Theismann trying to come up with the big play. Again running out of the pocket. 35 and slides to a halt at the 39-yard line. So he got back to the original line of scrimmage in 2 or 3 more. But considerably short of the first down. And the Redskins will be punting.
Now you're going to see number 95 right in the middle of your screen. That's Richard Dent, the NFC's leading sacker. See, he got all the way around the outside of the tight end, Don Warren, and flushed him. He had to get running. Here he is going to come sliding to second base. Safe, but no first down.
No first down. About 6 yards shy, and Hayes in to do the punting. He's another kicker who can send it inside that 20. Very high snap, and he does a good job of pulling it down. End over end kick. Fisher at the 30. Up to the 35-yard line and to the 39. And that's where the Bears will put it in play with 9 minutes and 39 seconds left to play in the first half. What's turned into a defensive battle so far. 33 on the punt and 11 on the return. That was returnable all the way.
It's tough enough to make a great punt, but when you have to break your concentration and go up there and get the ball like he did here, you've got to give him credit for doing a super job. There's, again, where experience comes in, Frank.
We'll be back at RFK Stadium in Washington right after this. Brent talking on the NFL Today about this going to be a battle in the trenches, and so far it's been just that.
They're right down there. The Bears versus the Hogs.
The Bears and the Hogs going after it. And it's tied at 3-all here in the second period. The Bears with a first and 10 at their 39. Fuller has got some fairly impressive stats. He started 4 games, completed 68% of his passes, and has not thrown an interception this year. And Fuller backpedaling to throw. Over the middle to Moorhead, the tight end. He'll take it to the 45 for a pickup of 5, maybe 6 yards in the play.
Kurt Becker has the assignment of pass protecting Dave Butts, number 65. See him to the right of the screen. Now he's in the middle. Now he's getting help right there from Jay Hilgenberg, number 63. He's going all the way around the horn trying to find someone. Then the third guy gets involved, Jim Colbert, number 74. He's going to go back down. He's going to be upset. I got 3 guys blocking me.
Not fair.
Why don't one of you other guys rush?
Second down. Bears need 4 for the first down at their 45. Suey steps into the slot. Up at the top of your screen. Willie Galt flanked to the right side. And he's going for Galt, the speedster. Downfield, Galt trying to get inside at Darrell Green. And no flag thrown. Here is a guy who can fly.
Willie can fly, but I'll tell you something else. Darrell Green can fly. Look at, he's right up there in bump and run coverage position, playing him inside now. He's watching his head. Now he sees him look for the ball. That's when he looks for the ball. Good defense. I'll tell you, this guy can bump and run. Yesterday I'm running in the park. Oh, here we go. You can see he can throw the ball under pressure as well.
Took a pretty good shot.
Yesterday I was jogging out there along the Potomac River, and who's sitting on a bench necking with his girlfriend in bump and run? Darrell Green.
Did you call him for holding?
I almost did. Yeah, I caught him for holding.
Third down and 4. Bears from their 45. Looked like Payton wanted to pitch it back to Fuller. And Payton down the sidelines across the 50-yard line and out of bounds at the 43. Did it look to you like he was trying to pitch it back to Fuller?
He had it in that one hand. It looked like he was going to flip it out there.
Of course, he carries it that way all the time anyway, doesn't he?
Watch the play now. The quarterback's going to get the snap. Man in motion going. People moving. He gets the ball back there. See, he gets up in there. It looked like he wanted to flip it back, but he really didn't. Now you can see Dexter Manley. He's no foot race match for that guy. Big lineman against Payton. Number 24 comes all the way across to make the play, Anthony Washington.
A 12-yard pickup and a first down for the Bears at the Redskin 43-yard line.
You don't see many impromptu runs like that be successful.
Suey and Payton in the split backfield to give us to Payton. Drives over the left side to about the 40-yard line. Trying to wrestle the football away from him. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited. One of the most amazing statistics about Walter Payton, he's been in the game 10 years. He has missed 1 game.
It's amazing. And when you talk about 13,309 yards, you're talking about 7.5 miles of carrying the football, Frank.
Got a change in the Bears' offensive line, which we'll pass on to you after this play. 2nd and 6. Bears at the Redskin 40. Payton tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard out of it. Darrell Grant thought he should have had him for the loss. Jimbo Covert, who may be the Bears' best offensive lineman, has gone out with an injury. And Andy Frederick came back in. Now Frederick goes out.
Jim Covert's back in. Jim Covert's their offensive captain, and he's only a second-year guy. He's the youngest captain in the National Football League this year.
I'll tell you something about his leadership abilities.
Yeah.
Third down. Bears need 6 for the first down at the Redskin 40. Dunsmore, the tight end of the slot, off to the right side. Here's Steve Fuller under pressure. Delivers over the middle, almost intercepted. Intended for McKinnon. And they were playing volleyball with it over there. Rich Malott, number 57, thought he had one.
Boy, that was an outstanding job of coverage by a defensive linebacker. Outstanding job.
Redskin Perry Brooks was shaken up on the play, number 69, who will need medical attention. So we've got a timeout here with 7 minutes and 9 seconds left to play in the first half, and the score tied at 3.
Here we are, right? The ball's going to be coming right at us. Quarterback going back. Good heat. You can see old Butts circling around there. Now, Steve Malott, number 57, to the right side of your screen. He's going to reappear. Now, watch him come inside out on the ball. Reach, dive, put that ball down, preventing the reception. Really a nice job by a linebacker, stopping Dennis McKinnon, number 85, from getting the first down.
Brooks would appear to be okay. You've prepared teams for the playoffs before. What's the biggest factor in getting ready?
Well, first off, as a coach, you have a tendency, or at least I did, to start thinking what we did to get here isn't good enough to keep us going. And sometimes you make some changes, and it's usually a mistake. The big thing is to keep the program going that got you there.
Finzer to do the punting, and Nelms is deep.
This is where this Finzer is really great, Frank, laying that ball inside that 20-yard line, just out of bounds.
Nelms will let it bounce at the 10, and it'll be down at the 2-yard line. That guy can play shortstop for the Cubs, Dave Dorsey, who fielded that cleanly. And now we got a bit of a scramble going on. A little early for that, boys. Still got a lot of football left to be played. 37 yards on the punt. And it looks like they're going to mark it at the 2-yard line. So the Redskins will be huddling in their end zone with very poor field position when we come back in just a moment. As you might say, of the Redskins right where they want them. Backed up to their 2-yard line with a 1st and 10. Chicago, keep in mind, the #1 defensive team in all of pro football. They're #1 in the rush, and they were 2nd against pass this year. Riggins starts this one 4 yards deep in the end zone, and will try to get the Redskins some breathing room as he takes it out to the 4, maybe the 5-yard line.
You know, you can hear the Redskins quarterback, Joe Theismann, yelling, yellow 30, which is a false audible color. I think now the Redskins have some audibles in their game plan, and I wouldn't be surprised to hear them calling something other than yellow as the ball game goes on. A live color changing the play on the line of scrimmage.
Pickup of 3 by Riggins. It is 2nd and 7 for the Redskins at their 5. Didier wide to the right side. Here's Theismann throwing from the end zone. Sees an opening. And slides to a halt at the 10. Late hit. There's the flag. Looks like he didn't get quite enough for the 1st down, but the penalty will take care of that.
Boy, that's a big penalty. You know, I actually think Richard Dent was in the air, and he tried to cushion the blow through the quarterback.
Personal foul, piling on, number 95. 1st down.
You can see Joe running away from you right now. Now watch, he's going to go down right here, and see 95 coming there. He goes over the top of him. I think, well, yeah, good call by the official. Good call by the official. He's got to pull off before that. He had time to pull off.
15-yard walk-off tacked on at the end of the play moves the ball out to the 26-yard line. And now the Redskins do have some breathing room with 6 minutes, 16 seconds left to play in the 1st half. Theismann looks near side, now looks far side. And again, he's going to run it. Otis Wilson finally chasing him down. He goes out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Looks like Singletary is going to chase him all the way up into the stands.
This was a play-action pass. Now watch Joe Theismann, number 7, in the middle. Reverse pivot, make the fake. He makes the fake to Riggins, and there he's looking to his left. The coverage was there. Steve McMichaels got in there and flushed him, number 76. Now he's running his fanny off to get away from number 55, Otis Wilson. Stay away from him, Joe.
Well, Theismann isn't quite the Redskins' leading rusher yet, but 4 carries for 35 yards isn't bad. Riggins has 37, but he's carried it 14 times.
I know it. The quarterback is being flushed too often right now for sound offense.
2nd and 4 from the 33. Here they come. Theismann smelled it coming that time, got rid of the ball quickly, and took another shot from Otis Wilson as he tried to dump it off to Art Monk over on the far side.
They came after him. I believe that he audibled that time, Frank, which the Redskins never used to do. They used to try to control your defenses with their formations, but now the defenses are catching up, and they're forced to audible.
We were told that after the first St. Louis game that Joe Gibbs put in an audible system, which he really hadn't had before, that they would rely on slight adjustment in the past, but didn't have a real flexible audible system. But they do have it now, and they're using it more and more.
You need it against this Bear defense because it is so unusual.
1st down.
They're in this 46 defense right now.
3rd and 4 from the shotgun. We got a whistle prior to the snap. 30-second clock is down to 0. And that time the Redskins took too much time.
Delay, offense, number 7.
You'll see what the quarterback sees coming at him right now with this Bear defense. See him stunning inside. The center's taking the man to the right. Here comes the linebacker, Singletary, number 50, picked up by Joe Washington. And old Joe was decked that time. He'll have to use better technique.
Washington trying to hit Singletary a little high, and Joe went about 5 yards the other direction. Now 3rd and 9 for the Redskins at their 27. Charlie Brown wide to the left side. Didier in motion for Washington from the shotgun. Theismann sideline throw to Brown. Completes it at the 35. And that'll be close to a first down. If they give him his progress, it may get it.
I don't think they did, Frank. I don't think he made it.
See him line this one up. Looks like they're a little short.
Take a look at Dent, number 95, coming in there now. Russ Grimm has him. He's stunting to the outside. Then Jacoby picks him up. He's got him, pushing him back in there. You can use your hands as an offensive lineman as long as you don't grab and hold. That Dent can get after you pretty good, and he forces you to block him many times with more than one guy. Usually helped out with a tight end or running back.
4th down, less than a yard for the first down, and Jeff Fisher has retreated, anticipating the punt from Hayes. Watch this snap. The last one almost sailed over his head. Another delay of game. Again, the 30-second clock ran down.
Delay, offense, number 5.
I can see where you might do that if you're in the other team's end of the field, but not here.
No.
Joe Gibbs.
I don't know what the problem is there, but I imagine Joe's upset.
Joe has said this has been his toughest year coaching with the up and down ways of the Redskins so far this year. And Gibbs also told us yesterday that Joe Theismann last year was the MVP in the NFL. This year he didn't make the Super Bowl, but he thought he had every bit as good a year this year as he did last year.
Yeah, you're talking about not making the Pro Bowl. He didn't make it, but he played as well this year as last year. But he's had so many different receivers to throw the ball to, so many offensive line problems, running back injury problems, that the overall production has not been there. Therefore, he is not evaluated as having had a successful season or as successful.
5-yard walk-off will make it 4th and 6 from the 31-yard line. And Hayes standing back at his 15. Gets the good snap this time. Nice punt. Fisher at the 30. Trying to get to the near sideline and advanced it to the 34-yard line before he was knocked out of bounds. 40 on the punt, 5 on the return. Timeout with 5 minutes, 3 seconds left to play in the first.
They're probably executives at IBM, aren't they? Or CBS.
Yeah. Some of our guys are here, aren't they? 1st and 10 for the Bears at their 35-yard line. Score tied at 3. Payton in motion. Fuller with the handoff going to Calvin Thomas, who has just come into the ball game. Thomas taking the handoff. Now Fuller is one of, count them, 6 quarterbacks the Bears have used this year, including Walter Payton. That's quite a lineup, and you win a division with it, you've really done something.
That really is. That shows you how good the defense is. That also shows you how sound your offensive line is and how great your running back is.
Mike Ditka told us yesterday that if the Bears were lucky enough to get to the Super Bowl, he thinks that he could have Jim McMahon back for that game. 2nd and 5. We may find out more on that at halftime. Payton. 1st down, Chicago. Walter Payton out across the 45 to the 47-yard line where Curtis Jordan and Charles Mann collaborate on the stop.
Watch Jim Covert, the left tackle, the top side of your screen, come off right there. Now he's turning Manley out again. Now the linebacker has to come in and make the play. It was blocked nicely right there by number 33, Calvin Thomas. And I'll tell you, this guy, Walter Payton, is about as physical and strong a running back for a 200-pounder as you'll ever see,
Redskins crowd trying to get into the game here. 1st and 10. Bears have the ball at their 46. Again, Payton. And this time, not much. Maybe a yard. as the center of the line collapses on him. You know, Walter redid his contract prior to the start of the season this year. Under terms of his new contract, he is assured $240,000 a year until age 73.
Holy mackerel.
And
that's pretty good living. Huh?
Well, he may still have a few yards left in him then. Who knows? He may still be running it for the Bears. Time left in the first half, just over 3 minutes. Score tied at 3. Second down, 9. Bears at their 47. Calvin Thomas in the slot. He and Suey normally split duties at the other running back. Fuller got some pressure. Gets rid of it. Hits Thomas at the 45 and down to the 41 of the Redskins. First down for the Bears. Fuller doing a good job under pressure. However, we've got a marker thrown back at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be a personal foul, I think.
Roughing the passer.
Monty Coleman, number 51. I didn't see it, Frank. I was looking downfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 71.
That'll be Charles Mann.
You can see Steve Fuller back here. Charles Mann. Oh, I say it actually looks like a blow to the back of the head, but maybe I don't see anything rough.
Anytime you hit him in the head, you're gonna get 15.
I couldn't see it there. Here's Charles Mann, number 71, coming around there. The ball's gone. Unless he hit him behind the helmet, there's nothing personal foul about that. Must have hit him high above the hat.
But if you hit him in the head area, regardless of how hard you tap him, it's a personal foul.
It is. Normally, though, they call that a blow to the head. Fred Silva, the official, did not say a blow to the head.
13 on the pass reception, 15 more on the penalty. Total of 28 yards on the play, and the Bears have a first down at the Redskin 25. Payton comes back inside and is out of bounds around the 20-yard line. Payton has that unique little stutter, almost hurdle step that you see every once in a while, and you saw it on that particular play.
He gathers up and then just sort of hurdles forward and gets his feet and actually switches which foot he wants in front of the other. It's amazing how he does that. Now watch how important the backside blocking is. See number 74? Watch him cut down Grant, number 75 right there. That eliminated a defensive lineman from filling from the backside and allowed him to turn up inside.
Well, the Redskins control the ball in the first quarter. And in the second period, it's been the Bears controlling the football. 2nd and 4 from the 20. They fake the reverse. Payton to throw wide open. Dunsmore in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Was he open or was he open?
He was wide open. Dunsmore was the tight end. They faked the toss first, then faked the reverse. And Walter Payton has 9 completions in his career as a passer, and 8 of them have scored touchdowns.
19 yards on the reception, and the Bears lead the Redskins for the first time with the extra point try to come.
Evidently, the strong safety, 48, Kenny Coffey, took his eyes off the tight end as the running play developed, and then allowed Dunsmore, number 88, to slip out there.
Baschnagel to hold, and Thomas on the extra point try. So the Bears have succeeded in silencing this Redskin crowd as they lead it 10-3.
Take a look at the toss now. He tosses it deep. Now Walter fakes it right there. Fake the reverse. Now he lays it up to the tight end all alone. No wonder his pass completion percentage for touchdowns is so great if they're all like that play. Now here's another shot. Now watch Dunsmore, number 88. See him sneak out underneath the linebacker. He sort of hesitated there like he was going to block and then slipped right out there. Completely fooled the strong safety, I think, Ken Coffey, number 48.
We're down to the 2-minute warning, which is going to both benches, with the Bears leading the Redskins 10-3. Well, the Bears have silenced this crowd here in Washington. They're a little stunned.
It is quiet in here.
You're wondering how Dunsmore got that wide open. We're going to show you right after the kickoff. Fine play. 2 minutes left to play, and they go with the short kick to prevent the long return. And one of the Redskin upbacks feels it, takes it to the 34-yard line. And that's where the Redskins will put it in play.
The play starts with a man coming in motion that distracts people. He comes back here, and Walter Payton here takes the toss and fakes it right here and comes on out and throws the pass to this tight end. The key is this safety right here ran run all the way and came across the stop. Nobody there when he slipped on out to the end zone. Touchdown. Now see the safety? There's the fake reverse. See the tight end slip to the corner of your right screen? Nobody there except the Redskin painted on the turf.
Back to live action. 1st and 10. Redskins at their 34. Theismann over the middle to Monk. Or had he been able to escape that tackle by Terry Schmidt, number 44, Mr. Monk could have gone for a while. 12 yards on that pickup. And one of the Bears was shaken up on the play. Where the Bears have been absolutely murdering the Redskins is on 1st down. They have averaged 7 yards per 1st down to the Redskins 2.2.
They have done it all except for that very first drive that the Redskins started out the game with. It's been a Chicago Bear football game.
Terry Schmidt, we believe, is the injured Chicago Bear. Time is out with 1:43 left to play in the 1st half. Had to like what he was seeing until he saw Terry Schmidt go down. Now Schmidt walks off the field under his own power, and Leslie Frazier, who was injured and questionable for this game, is now in there as the Redskins try to get on the scoreboard before intermission. They have a 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line, trailing 10-3. Theismann got Hampton after him, gets away from him, completes the pass to Didier at the 40, 35, 30, and out of bounds at the 27. One of the Redskins who was injured earlier this year and has come back strong, Clint Didier, on the receiving end of that Joe Theismann pass.
When you're a man-to-man team, sometimes you don't play the zone coverage very well. Now you watch, Joe's going to come back. Now you're going to see a tight end coming from your right side. Didier, see him right there? He's going underneath the zone being stretched by Muhammad, number 89. He cleaned it out. Nobody around him. Here he is now. Frazier coming over to knock him out of bounds.
Not before he picked up 26 yards, and the Redskins with a 1st down at the Bear 27.
That might be the last zone coverage you see in the game.
Didier splits out wide to the right side. Richardson comes out to pick him up. Brown off to the left. Back to throw it. Theismann over the middle.
Pass interference.
Well, the officials didn't call it.
I can see why it looked like the guy had him on his shoulder. Maybe not. That's what it looked like to me. Here's Clint Didier coming down on Mike Richardson. That gives him move to the outside. He goes to the inside. Now the guy hooks him right there. Clint was upset. Thought the guy hooked him and prevented him from getting to the ball. He gets up screaming.
The line of scrimmage, the Bears were complaining about being held, so it kind of evens up. 2nd and 10. Redskins at the Bear 27, 1:30 left to play in the 1st half.
Here's that 46 defense. A little bit quick.
Theismann in trouble behind the line and sacked back at the 32-yard line. Mike Ditka. He's calmed down a little bit on the sidelines, but you don't really want to calm Mike Ditka down too much, do you?
I don't think so. As he said yesterday, he's gone through this whole season as the head coach being totally dissected in everything he does, on the field, off the field, on the sideline, and he's sort of tired. But I think they ought to let the guy just be what he is, an intense, tough guy, and chances are his football team will be an intense, tough football team.
Timeout called by the Redskins with 1:27 to go in the 1st half of play. More football coming up. 3rd and 15. Redskins at the 32-yard line. We get movement prior to the snap, and flags drop all over the place.
They're up there in that 46 defense again, all loaded over to the Washington Redskins' right side.
The 46, by the way, refers to Doug Plank, the former safety. That's who they name it after, just like Miami used to call their 53 defense.
62. False start.
So the penalty goes against the Washington Redskins. And that's on Mo Towns, who was activated just yesterday, put back on the roster, and has come in extremely handy with Ken Huff out with a broken ankle.
They're back in that defense again now. Fans, see the linebacker standing up to the right of the Redskin formation.
3rd and 20 from the 37. Good protection this time for a moment for Theismann, and all of a sudden Richard Dent blew through there and dropped him for the loss at the 50-yard line. What a rush by Dent. I'll tell you, if the quarterback sack is the defensive lineman's home run, this guy is Mike Schmidt in the NFC this year.
Here you can see him inside to the left side of your screen. He's coming on around to the outside. Russ Grimm has him right there. He got in between Jacoby and Russ Grimm. You take him, no, I'll take him. Now they're saying, who's supposed to block him? I think Russ Grimm should have stayed with him the whole time. You know,
4th and 32.
A sack has become so much more important in football now. A sack, one more sack than you get yourself is worth 3.5 points. The computer tells us that way anyway, Frank, and it shows up.
Theismann has been sacked 3 times for minus 26 yards. On the other hand, Fuller has been dropped once behind the line of scrimmage.
So at the end of the game, the computer would tell you that's worth 7 points.
We'll see if that ratio continues to hold up in the second half. The chess game down right now among the punting units. Redskins want to take the full 30 seconds there to run the clock down as far as they could. Fisher signaling for the fair catch at the 12-yard line with 45 seconds left on the clock in the first half. 37 yards on the punt. All right, you're the Bears. You got a 10-3 lead. You just hang on the ball here and run out the clock.
Don't do anything foolish. First off, they're not a passing team. They're a running team with great defense, a pressure defense. Don't do anything foolish right here. You have momentum. Don't do anything to lose momentum.
The defense gets a rest. That's Mike Singletary. He'll be the starting linebacker in the Pro Bowl. A big surprise out of Baylor when he came up. Second-round draft choice, and the computer spit him out because he's only 6 feet tall. Right now, he's probably the best middle linebacker in pro football. Fuller with the handoff to Suri, who cleared out to the 14-yard line. See if the Redskins bother to use any of their timeouts. It's like both sides want to retreat to the locker room and talk about it.
You know, Frank, in talking to Mike Ditka yesterday about the Redskin defense, he said, you know, Dick, that's not the Redskin defense. That's George Allen defense. Richie Petitbon is a product of George Allen. So is the defensive line coach, Laverne Torgerson. They're playing the same defense the Redskins have played for years, the George Allen defense.
George Allen defense and the Jack Pardee defense.
That's right.
Now the Joe Gibbs defense.
Which originally
number 83 deep, along with Dennis Gentry. Number 29. Of course, Galt is the man to watch. In his last year in college, he returned 5 kickoffs for touchdowns. That's one shy of the NCAA record. Hasn't returned any kickoffs this year prior to this game, and won't return this one, I don't believe. Comes down 6 yards deep in the end zone. And they'll play it at the 20-yard line. And Otis Wansley limping a little bit. Here's a guy who's a very valuable member of this specialty unit.
This Wansley is a tough son of a gun. See him right in the middle of your screen, number 39. He's a short yardage fullback as well. He can take people on, and he'll never quit. Now watch him get up. Wilbert Marshall did a nice job of blocking him, but I'll tell you, if we have time to show it, he'll get up and get his shot in there too. See that? Hey, let me go make the play. That's what I'm getting paid to do.
1st and 10 for the Bears at the 20-yard line. This is exactly the football game we've expected. The big question is who's going to come up with the big play to possibly break it open. Steve Fuller at the throttle, as he has been all afternoon. The pitch to Payton. And Walter Payton out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Payton in the first half carried 9 times for 56 yards, averaging 6 yards plus. And Fuller in the first half of play threw the ball very sparingly. Completed 3 out of 6 for 55 yards. That sets up a 2nd and 5 for the Bears at their 25. As they rush Monty Coleman, number 51 in there. He's normally their designated linebacker rusher, much like the Lawrence Taylor and all. Fuller throwing on 2nd down, completes it. That could be the big play. That's Galt. It's a foot race.
They won't catch him. He's got too much speed.
Willie Galt at the 10, at the 5, touchdown. Willie Galt, who told us yesterday he has been timed in 4.17 for the 40. 75 yards on the touchdown reception from Steve Fuller. And the Bears lead mounts to 16-3, and Joe Gibbs trying to figure out how to contain these Bears. Of course, the Redskins have had trouble defensing the pass all year long. That's been one of their big problem areas.
think that was Vernon Dean in the coverage, and he slipped and fell down. And when you turn Willie Gault, as Frank said, loose in the secondary, not many people are going to catch him.
Thomas with the extra point try. This crowd is stunned. It is no good. Thomas misses the extra point try to the left. That could come back and be costly later. The touchdown again.
Here you can see now number 57 is the middle linebacker. Later on, you're going to see him. The ball's thrown to the right, a wobbly lane duck. All right, Green came up there, Darrell Green, and he missed it. He almost fumbled the football. Now Darrell's going to chase him, and he can't catch him. There comes the middle linebacker, 57, Rich Malott. He crosses the field. He picks up a block from Pat Dunsmore right here on Curtis Jordan, number 22, and he trots in. A guy that runs a 9.9 100 meters. Now take a look at this little out pattern, nothing to it. Darrell Green comes up, he plants his foot, slips and falls. Nice job. He almost fumbled the darn football. Here comes Rich Malott, 57, the linebacker chasing him. That's a mismatch. Here he goes. He's running on in for a score. Touchdown. Oh, little fancy move there at the end, Frank.
So the Bears lead the Redskins 16-3. Timeout. David Finzer will kick off for the Chicago Bears. Redskins and their fans are stunned. Nelms chasing this one down to field it at the 7. Back to the 15, 20. Hurdles a couple of people up to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Redskins will put it in play. That missed extra point by Bob Thomas, only his 3rd of the year.
It's a good snap, perfect snap. He just shanks it off here. Here it goes. Off to his left, to our right as we look at it. He doesn't miss many.
You know, the pass to Willie Gault, that really wasn't intended to be a big play.
No, actually they were going for the first down, and then I'll tell you, many times the big play offense is dependent on who has the ball in his hands. Willie Gault turned that into a big play.
And it wasn't really a good pass, a real wobbler. Those are the kind that look good in the quarterback's passing stats after the game. Riggins tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage down at the 29-yard line. Here's one of the Bear heroes today. He told us yesterday, I sure wish they'd get the ball to me a little more often.
He does, you know, but the guy catches a touchdown pass every 5th ball that he does catch, so might as well keep throwing it to him.
He says he expects to be in the Olympics in 1988. He figures they'll allow the professionals in by that time. In fact, he had a court action working on that.
Right. I tell you, the smart thing for the Bears now to do is don't go over there on that sideline and celebrate, because it's a long ways from over.
2nd down, 7. Redskins at their 28. Theismann hitting Art Monk, who goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line, right at the first down marker. There's Ken Huff, who was injured in the first half with his wife and youngster in the Redskin locker room just a few moments ago. Broken ankle for Huff.
They run a daycare center together, and it looks like they're going to have a lot of time in the offseason because he'll be home running that daycare center.
It is a first down for the Redskins at their 37-yard line. Monk has now caught 5 balls for 56 yards.
That's it.
Theismann going to the far sideline, but not much there as he hits Didier. And coming up quickly, Mike Richardson, number 27.
They're going to have to do more of that on first down to end up with positive gains, because the Bears are playing that 46 defense so far every time on first down, and it's tough to run into that defense, Frank.
It has not been going well for the Redskins in their last few possessions, and they're trying to turn things around right now. Fumble and 3 punts after they dominated play in the first period, took the opening kickoff and held the ball for over 7 minutes en route to their field goal. 2nd down, 6. Redskins at their 41.
Yeah, they are.
Monk in motion, Theismann under pressure, one-on-one coverage. Down the far sideline, Muhammad was out of bounds. He came down out of bounds. So it'll go as an incompleted forward pass as Mike Richardson goes back with him.
The Redskins have made good adjustments at halftime. They're playing now to get after this one-on-one coverage. See him up there, bump and run on Richardson. 89, Calvin Muhammad jumps to the outside. The ball's thrown over the outside shoulder, a little too far over the outside. He only gets 1 foot down. But this is what they have to do. One big one like that gets 6 points.
Joe
Take
Gibbs.
a look again. Here they are. 1 foot inbounds, left foot, right foot out of bounds. Good call by the official. That's what you call a fade pattern, Frank.
Third down, and the Redskins need 6 for the first down at their 42-yard line. They trail 16-3 from the shotgun. Using it for the first time today. Great catch! Didier gets away from Singletary. It's inside the 35 and goes out of bounds at the 28. And Didier is ready to fight somebody.
Great job by Didier, number 86. He's back in the shotgun. You can see the stunts occurring inside. They're picked up nicely. He gets rid of the ball there one-on-one on a linebacker. He will beat one-on-one coverage. He does a nice job. He gets a block downfield by Charlie Brown. He gets knocked out of bounds. He gets a little upset right here with that little extra toss, and I don't blame him.
Didier with his third catch for 59 yards. Redskins are moving, and Theismann would like a little quiet. As he goes to work, 1st and 10 at the Bear 29, Riggins. Bumping helmets down to the 25 for a pickup of 4. Now, one big play like the catch by Didier could help in turning this momentum around.
I know it. I'll tell you what you feel right now. We're midway up to the top of the stadium, and you can just feel the electricity generated by the enthusiasm and intensity of these fans.
Ditka said yesterday, he said Seattle and Washington, 2 toughest places to play because of the crowd. But he said we can't play the crowd. We've got to play the opposition. On 2nd and 7.
Hit it to him quickly.
Theismann, far sideline throw to Monk, first down inside the 20. And gets down to the 15-yard line before Mike Richardson shoves him out of bounds. Art Monk with a sensational year this year. This man was the Redskins' first-round pick in 9 years back in 1980.
Now you're going to watch the quarterback here. You got a man coming in motion right here. He's going to come back and he's going to reverse back out, and that really cleans him up nicely in terms of coverage. Here he is right now. He's reversed. See the defender now, 44, Terry Schmidt, how far away he is. He lays it out there. He's all alone. Nice job. Good cushion.
10-yard pickup on the play. Monk was shaken up and comes out of the ball game. First down from the 16-yard line. Theismann, we got a flag as Theismann is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And on top of him is Richard Dent, 8th-round draft pick a year ago from Tennessee State, who led the NFC in sacks this year with 17.5, which is a Bears club record. And he'll be starting at his first Pro Bowl game. Check the penalty here with the referee, Fred Silva.
Offense, number 62. Holding. 10 yards, first down.
Mo Towns. And Joe Gibbs not very happy the way things are going for Washington. Redskins favored coming into this game. And Monk, who missed the previous play after being shaken up, is back in the lineup, replacing Mark McGrath.
Look at the RPMs of that jaw right now. He's turning about 6,000 RPM.
11:08 left to play in the 3rd period. On 1st and 20, Theismann going down to the 2-yard line, completes it to Mohammed. That'll be a 1st and goal. Terry Schmidt defending. And Schmidt was shaken up. He comes away from that tackle limping. 23-yard pickup on the play.
You've got to throw the ball against this defense. Now watch the receiver right here, the middle of the screen. Here he is. He's coming. He makes a little move to the outside. Comes inside Mohammed. Terry Schmidt, number 44, is nowhere around him. If that ball had been out in front of him, it would have been a touchdown.
1st and goal. Redskins at the 2-yard line. They go with the split backfield and short yardage. And that is Riggins, number 44, and Walmsley, number 39. It is Riggins driving down to the goal line. He did not get in.
They normally, in this situation, run behind big number 85, Don Warren, their tight end. Watch the tight end right at the left side of your screen, number 85. He's going to fire out low and hard. He's in a 3-point stance or 4-point stance already. Didier's going to kick out. Boom, he gets it kicked out. Wansley, he leads it through, and he's just mushing his way the best he can to get up there into the end zone. Watch the left side of the line here fire out in this situation. Look at him coming off low, hard. Look at Grimm, got a nice block. Wansley leading through there. Riggins almost got it in.
Second and goal from inside the 1-yard line. Again, it is Riggins. He is over. Touchdown. Very impressive drive by a veteran ball club as they move 73 yards after the Bears stunned them with that long bomb to Willie Gault.
Good coaching at halftime. Good adjustment of the game plan. Throwing that ball against that single coverage.
Mosley backs on the extra point, and that extra point miss now by Thomas is beginning to look bigger and bigger.
Watch the left side of the line now. Here they are. They're coming off real low and hard, keeping everybody on the ground. Riggins just dives over the top and gets it in for the touchdown. Now you're playing linebacker. You are sitting on your couch, but you're number 50. You're going to have to make the play. Can you do it? It is tough to make the play when you're getting knocked off the line of scrimmage. Watch Otis Wansley, number 39, the fullback to the left here. See him, the running back? Watch him lead through. Boom! He tried to, in fact, he gets through there cleanly. They should have given him the ball.
9 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the third period. Monk running up and down on the Redskins sideline. He came out during that goal line series limping a bit, and they retaped his knee. And he was having a little trouble getting it loose. Boy, are these fans pumped up now. And he's kicking off. Gault is deep. Willie Gault at the goal line. Out to the 15. Across the 20. To the 23-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you, there were some guys flying downfield on that one. Whew. Here's Willie Gault. You know, this looks easy. Just catch it and go upfield, but you have 11 hungry guys coming after you. Now, watch the courage this guy displays right here. He's a hurler, you know. He's run as fast as anybody in the world, and he darn near got through.
Hasn't lost his hurdling form.
No.
So the crowd has come alive here at RFK Stadium, which is the biggest ally for the Washington Redskins as the Bears go to the attack first and 10 at their 22-yard line. We're midway in the third quarter with the Bears leading the Redskins 16-10 and a little bit too noisy for quarterback Steve Fuller. Fuller is 27 years old, came into the league as a #1 draft choice with Kansas City. Started several years there. Was beaten out by Bill Kenny. He was traded to Los Angeles, spent the entire year with the Rams last year without throwing a single pass, including being on the sidelines here in the NFC Divisional Playoff game when the Redskins massacred the Rams. He had his shoulders separated twice this year. St. Louis in a preseason game and then in the Monday night game in San Diego.
You know, the players have a lot of confidence in him when he steps in the huddle. Very bright guy. Rhodes Scholarship candidate. High school class valedictorian. A lot of smarts underneath that helmet, Frank.
Again, the decibel level picks up as the Bears come up to the line of scrimmage. He looks at the referee, Fred Silva, and says, "How about it? I can't hear." Well, I remember an Eagle game that you were involved in. Wasn't it a Monday night game in Miami, and Jaworski kept going back to the huddle?
We were back in the shotgun in the fourth quarter, and the game was really tight, and the fans were making so much noise. With Jaworski back 6 yards from the center couldn't hear the snap counts. And so we just kept, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and finally, actually, we made a mistake. We snapped the ball, ended up getting an interception.
Well, the league is talking about installing transmitters in the helmets of the receivers and the quarterbacks, perhaps on an experimental basis in preseason next year, to avoid the advantage that you get at a noisy stadium like this one.
I think there's better ways to spend the money in the National Football League.
They're course, the Bears aren't operating out of the shotgun. They're operating out of the normal T formation. Crowd chanting defense.
They would like to play, fans. Just quiet down so they can.
You know as well as I do that every time they go back, they're going to be yelling twice as loud the next time. 1st and 10 at the 22. Payton in motion. They get the play off. Fuller. Big trouble behind the line. Good runner. Slides through a halt at the 27-yard line. It quiets him down a little bit. Pickup of about 5 yards on the play.
Frank, Mike Ditka told me yesterday, this guy can really run, but they don't want him running. He's healthy enough to throw the ball, but not healthy enough to take a direct shot on that injured shoulder.
He said the only thing that they haven't worked out with Fuller in practice is taking a hit on that shoulder.
Taking that hit, and you can't do it. You know, that's separated twice in 1 year. You just can't afford to get him hurt scrambling like that.
Behind him, they have Greg Landry, who they picked up just a couple of weeks before the regular season ended, and Rusty Lish. 2nd and 5, Bears at their 27. Suey and Payton in the backfield. McKinnon in motion. Walter Payton. 1 yard, and that's about it. And Dave Butts would not be taken out of that play. Number 65, the 11-year veteran. Price was steep for Mr. Butts. He cost the Redskins when they signed him as a free agent from the Cardinals. 2 number 1s and a number 2, and for a while they thought they'd made a mistake.
This guy, Dave Butts, is making a lot of money working his hobby, carving decoys. He cannot fill all the orders. He's booked all the way through and sold all the way through April of '85.
3rd down, let's still call it 5. Needed for the 1st down for the Bears at their 27. Fuller inside, handoff, a little pitch to Suey across the 40, 50. Matt Suey is down to the 40-yard line. A little inside pitch, which actually is a forward pass.
That's right. If it's dropped, it goes as an incomplete pass. It's very unusual. You don't see it very much. Now watch the quarterback. Watch him go back. Now watch him flip the ball with his left hand to Matt Suey coming up underneath there. And this Suey is a much better runner than people give him credit for. Look at him go. He's going to switch the ball right there. Hang on to it. That's the big thing. Don't fool around with switching it. Just don't fumble it. Now you'll get a better shot. Now watch Suey. Watch Suey right there from the reverse angle. See him coming in, number 26, flip it right up there. Dexter Manley was suckered upfield, and look at him go. Good runner. No Walter Payton, but he's still a good running back.
34 yards. Big play for the Bears, and that quiets the crowd down a little bit.
It takes a lot of guts to call that play because it can misfire. Of course, if you throw it forward and fumble it, it's an incomplete pass.
Had he fumbled it, it would have simply been an incompleted forward pass. 1st down at the 39, Payton. Down to the 35, inside the 30 to the 29-yard line, and very close to a 1st down.
Very good signal calling, Frank. You know what they're doing? Stay cool, men. Stay cool. They're running draw plays, feeling that the defensive line, hey, they're all fired up. They're charging. They want to get after everybody. Maybe coming a little too hard, not reading their run keys properly, and running draws right by them.
Pickup of just short of 10 yards on the play as the officials mark it at the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and less than 1.
Here's Dave Butts, number 65 on the middle of the screen, getting turned out on that draw play. Just a very fundamental turnout block by Kurt Becker, number 79, but that opened up the hole.
Pretty good block by Suey on the linebacker, Malott.
Suey is considered one of the better blockers at his position in the NFC.
2nd and a yard needed for the 1st down at the Redskin 30. Bears leading 16-10. Suey caught behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for the loss back at the 35-yard line. Never got going that time. Dexter Manley, number 72, with great penetration, and Darrell Grant, number 77, in there as well.
You can see here, watch Walter Payton right here. Look at him. Right at the end, he's down on the ground. They got him by the ankles. Look at him twisting around there. Hey, don't tear that thing off. He wants to run another play. Neil Okowitz had that. Look at that. He's mad right now. Walter's getting mad. He won't let him go. Let my foot go. He did it.
Now instead of a 2nd and 1, the Bears are looking at a 3rd and 6 from the Redskin 35. staying on the ground for the most part, but here's Fuller going upstairs and going long for Dunsmore, the tight end, who can't reach it at the goal line, but we've got a flag dropped at the 15-yard line.
Oh, come on now. Let's not start having this stuff.
Now, don't jump to conclusions here, Coach. It's going to be against the Bears, according to what the Redskins are saying, and the preliminary indication from Fred Silva.
My point was, let him play. Keep that hanky in your pocket. Good, intense game. Don't you, as an official, take control of it.
Offensive pass interference was the preliminary indication we got, and so Silva discusses it with Dave Butts.
Offensive pass interference. Number 88, decline, 4th down.
Well, now the decision for Mike Ditka is this within Bob Thomas range from the 35-yard line. They're looking at a little better than 50 yards in a field goal attempt, and they're going to come with the punting unit.
Here's the holding call. Pat Dunsmore, number 48 right there, the pushing call. He shoved off with his inside arm. Number 88, Pat Dunsmore, on Ken Coffey, number 48. Good call.
Finzer back to do the punting. Again, his specialty.
Frank, do you know that Bob Thomas had 2 52-yard field goals this year?
Well, wind conditions being what they are, a little swirly down here. Ditka didn't want to take a chance. Finzer goes down. We've got a flag. Coffey came in with the big rush. Finzer put it out of bounds around the 10-yard line, but there's a marker down. It may be roughing the kicker.
Watch the punter now. Take a look. Here he's coming around the outside to your right. There he is. He was blocked into him. He was blocked into him, Fred.
Well, Fred Silva obviously didn't see it that way.
It looked like he came off a block and in the air.
Unless they change it, let's see.
Running into the kicker, 5 yards.
Automatic first down. Coffey came out with the big rush and definitely got a piece of Finzer, but was he blocked into it?
Now watch from the right side of your screen. You're going to see the punter field the ball low. Now you're going to see him coming right here. Here he is. See him shoved right there by 58, Wilbur Marshall. I thought, I don't know. It's really tough to call. The officials are down there in a better position than I am. They must be right. Right, Frank?
That's what you keep saying. You didn't say that when you were on the sidelines.
No. But I have to be careful. Sitting up here, sometimes I find myself venting my...
1st and 10 from the 30. Payton took the handoff and is level prior to crossing the line of scrimmage by Neil Olkowitz, number 52.
Payton's looking back and said, where did that guy come from?
Olkowitz rated one of the great overachievers of the Washington Redskins.
Watch number 52 come flashing in there from behind. Dexter Manley, 72, is eyeballing him right there, and there's old Neil Olkowitz. You know, he's a law enforcement major, and he just enforced the law right there.
Absolutely, as he saw it.
Yeah.
Loss of a yard puts it back at the 31, second at 11. McKinnon to the right side. Willie Gault is split to the left. Fuller for McKinnon. Got open at the near sideline, went out of bounds after catching the ball at the 15-yard line. And Vernon Dean's looking around saying, whose man was that?
I know, it's pretty obvious. You're lined up out there. It might have been a double coverage. Here's Vernon Dean, number 32. There he gives him a little jam. He's expecting deep help. He didn't get it quick enough. He settled right down there in that zone. Nicely done by Dennis McKinnon, number 85. He settled in that zone between the rolled up corner and the safety rotating over there.
Prior to that pass, Fuller has been averaging 32 yards per completion. They haven't thrown it that often, but of course they got the big one in there to golf for 75.
But that was a 10-yard completion.
That's right. If that. 1st and 10. Bears at the Redskins 16-yard line. 4 minutes left. 3rd period. Fuller flushed out of the pocket. Goes to McKinnon. Touchdown. Fuller keeping his cool, and there was some question in my mind almost that Fuller got beyond the line of scrimmage before he threw that thing, but no flags.
Real good poise right there. He flushed up inside. The receiver stayed with a pattern. He knew what was going on with his receivers downfield, found the open man, and I'll tell you, it's really tough as a defensive back to cover a guy in that situation.
Dennis McKinnon on the receiving end of Steve Fuller's second touchdown pass of the day. Peyton threw on, you recall. And here's Thomas, who missed his last extra point try. This one is good.
You're looking at this as if you were a middle linebacker. Neil Okowitz, 52, the little action there. Now the quarterback, now watch the quarterback slide up inside Butts, number 66. Now he's up in there. He lays it off out here to the right. See, he broke away from Ken Coffey, number 48, Dennis McKinnon. Watch the right side of the line pass protect here. Now you have Big Keith Van Orn, 78, Kurt Becker, 79, doing a nice job. Dave Butts, 65, not 66, as I said earlier. All right, Hilgenberg picks him up. He flushes up inside, does a nice job. Hey, where are you going? Look at the reaction here. Now watch this. He knows it's going to be good. Well, watch this. It's not over, though. Remember that, Mr. Fuller.
Timeout, score 23-10. Bears. 77 yards on the drive, and this man with 2 key catches, Dennis McKinnon, including the touchdown catch. So the Bears, after the Redskins score, come back with a nice drive, covering 5.5 minutes on the clock. Kickoff coming down to the far side to Keith Griffin, who fumbles it out of bounds at the 14. These guys are getting wide open, Dick.
Here he is in the slot. Obviously, they went to a zone coverage. The tight end went down and crossed. He came down underneath it, caught the ball right here. This strong safety, in this case, Ken Coffey, did not cover him man-to-man. He got in there behind him in the zone. Now watch. Watch the slot man cross. See him coming across. They're playing zone down here. Now you'll see the corner over here, Mr. Coffey, and he lays it up to him in the end zone, and he lost him right there for the touchdown.
Well, for a guy they thought might not be able to play, and Mr. McKinnon, he's done an outstanding job. Had his knee scoped a month ago, and he's back in there and doing good. The Redskins in a 23-10 hole. As Theismann brings him up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at their 13-yard line after Keith Griffin fumbled that kickoff out of bounds. So Theismann trying to get it going. So back to throw. He's got the Muhammad, and Muhammad drops the football. May have heard a few footsteps from Leslie Frazier coming up on him.
Frank, what I think he did, now watch this. Here's an experienced receiver coming off the line of scrimmage. He's got the corner. Now watch him take his eye off the ball right there. He's going to run with it before he caught it. Didn't get it put away. A fundamental mistake. A high school receiver makes that mistake. You wouldn't expect a pro receiver to make that mistake.
Muhammad cost the Redskins a 4th-round draft choice, but without him, they would not be in this divisional playoff game against the Bears. He's had a great year for them after they had all kinds of injury problems, including losing Charlie Brown at the wide receiver. 2nd and 10. Washington at its 14-yard line. Art Monk in motion. Theismann in trouble. Going to have to run it out to the 10 to the 15-yard line and caught at the 17. You know, prior to the start of the game, we were talking about if Peyton and Riggins kind of cancel each other out, we figured someone else would have to come on. And right now, it looks like that someone may be Steve Fuller.
It has been. I expected it to be Theismann because he's been here before and everybody knows how good he is. And here a guy is Fuller, goes to drafted #1 by Kansas City, goes to Los Angeles, comes to the Chicago Bears. But, you know, Mike Ditka told us yesterday. Ditka told us, hey, this guy is a lot better than a lot of people think, and he'll prove it tomorrow. He's right.
Word from the Bears bench is that Terry Schmidt is out for the game with a deep thigh bruise, and Leslie Frazier is now in at the right cornerback position. 3rd and 8. Theismann wants the big play, goes down the sidelines. It's Monk at the 50. Art Monk, who's been making the big plays all year on a big 3rd down.
You talk about a heck of a pass. That was about as well thrown a football as you can have. Now take a look at the isolation here. Art Monk on Mike Richardson coming out, bump and run to the outside. Now watch him look back, lulling, and he gets a little burst. Now watch this pass right where it had to be, right on the money. Well done, and Fensick, number 45, comes over and finishes him off. That is a big play.
Art Monk over the 100-yard mark in reception yardage, his 7th catch of the day. You know, Fensick was telling us yesterday, you look at that Bears secondary, with the exception of Leslie Frazier, you've really got all all safeties back there. They don't have another cornerback, legit cornerback on their roster. They figured that would cause them problems. 1st and 10 from the 50. Muhammad hangs holds onto this one, makes the grab at the 33, fumbles the football, and the Bears have recovered. Big play as Fensick comes up with the fumble recovery and the big hit by Leslie Frazier, number 21.
I wonder if he thought Todd Bell was going to come over and decapitate him like they did to Joe Washington in the first quarter. Boy, as a pro receiver, you got to lock that one up. Now you can see it's play action pass. Watch the fake the quarterback makes to Riggins right here. See, that freezes the linebackers inside. He comes back, turns to his left, and throws the post pattern right on the money. Plenty of time to lock it in there. He was bobbling the ball going down. He was bobbling it going down. Maybe that's why the Raiders traded him.
Well, it's ruled a catch and a fumble. And the Bears take over at their 32, and they put Walter Payton to work. And Payton takes it out to the 35 before he's driven back by half of the Redskins defense.
I'm not sure he had possession of that ball. Here he is coming inside right to the right of your screen. Now, see, he's got the ball. Yeah, it looks like he has possession. Nice job by Leslie Frazier, 21, of actually stripping and causing that fumble.
And the reaction of Joe Theismann. Oh, my, what else can go wrong?
I cannot believe it, he's saying. He's saying right now, where is Charlie Brown?
Bears with a 2nd and 8 at their 35. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. Bears leading 23-10. But that missed extra point still looms possibly large. Fuller handing off to Payton. And Payton will clear it out to just short of the 40-yard line. So they're looking at 3rd and about 3 needed for the first down. There's Gary Fensick, one of the few guys from Yale able to make the grade in the National Football League. He just got his master's in business administration from Northwestern and went to class during the season.
Got his degree, MBA, 2 weeks ago. And he says he used to bug him. He'd be on the airplane flying home from a game. Someone would come by and spill Coca-Cola or some kind of a cold drink all over his cheat notes. You know, he would really be upset.
3rd down and 3 for the Bears at their 40-yard line. Brad Anderson is in at a wide receiver. And Fuller wants a timeout and gets it with 1:12 left to play in quarter number 3. It's the Bears 23, the Redskins 10. The Bears defense, when we talked to him yesterday, he said he had a hunch that the Bears are going to win this football game, and he's only had a hunch like that once before that he can recall, and that was when Arkansas was a big underdog to Oklahoma. It was either the Sugar or the Orange Bowl, and they trumped the Sooners that year. So we'll see what kind of a prophet he turns out to be. The Bears have a 3rd and 3 at their 40. Most teams passing down. When he got Payton, maybe not. Fumble by Fuller. Who got it? Ball is loose. Redskins have recovered. Rich Malott, number 57. The first turnover of the day by the Bears. So the Redskins come up with excellent field possession at the 36.
Here you have a great shot of a bad exchange by the quarterback in center right there, and it may have been caused by the man now being lined up on Jay Hilgenberg. The center's lying right up on his nose, and he may have lost concentration initially on making the snap. See the man right on his nose right there? Boom. Probably short-armed the snap, turned it loose because you can see the ball was on the ground. I'd call that one on the center.
1:06 left in the third period. Redskins 1st and 10 at the Bear 36. And Theismann wants to capitalize. Quick, going long, a rainbow down the far sideline. And intended for Calvin Muhammad, it was Mike Richardson, number 27, who is back there with him.
I tell you, that Mike Richardson is really playing good pass defense. Up there tight, one-on-one. Here he is doing a nice job. Better keep your arm out of there, Mike Richardson. That's pass interference. Does a nice job right here. The ball was maybe a little bit underthrown, but really a nice job of playing pass defense. And you can see they're still working to Calvin Muhammad, so they have not lost confidence in him.
Richardson, just a second-year man out of Arizona State. He was a second-round draft pick last year. 2nd and 10. Redskins at the Bear 36.
People in Compton, California can be proud of that guy. He's playing well.
Art Monk, the man in motion for the Redskins. Theismann, quick throw this time, comes to Monk. of bounds, they say, at the 28-yard line. Todd Bell, number 25, was over there. Bell was a 4th-round draft pick back in 1981 in his 4th year in the league. Played his college football at Ohio State, and this year will be a Pro Bowl starter. Art Monk, surprisingly enough, is on the Pro Bowl team, but not as a starter after he sets the record for catches.
Maybe you have to catch 125 before you get all their votes, huh? But, you know, the motion is really loosening up that one-on-one coverage a little bit, and I think to probably stay with that.
3rd down, long 2 needed for the 1st down for the Redskins at the Bear 29. Riggins in the backfield.
Audible.
Theismann going long for Didier. The tight end makes the catch, goes out of bounds at the 3. 1st and goal.
Wonder who he's rooting for. Take a look at Didier, number 88, come off the line of scrimmage. He is 6'6". Here he's running on a defensive back, 6 foot even. He does a nice job, extremely well thrown ball right over the outside. And he takes those gloves that he's wearing, reaches up and plucks the football out of the air. Look at this one right here. Nice job. That's a physical mismatch. This guy has the speed of a wide receiver.
26-yard pickup, 1st and goal for the Redskins at the 2-yard line. Wansley, the man in motion. It is Riggins over the left side, shoved back after picking up a yard to the 1-yard line. Didier, by the way, now 4 catches for 85 yards.
Watch Otis Wansley go in motion right here. Now watch him here. He's going to see him start in motion. Now watch him come this way. Now watch him give a little juke move like that. What he's trying to do is sort of soften the contain. Now he comes and blocks out on Gary Fensick, and they run up inside.
The teams who have done well against the Bears this year and beaten them are teams with a lot of motion. And that's what the Redskins have. 2nd and goal from the 1. Riggins, touchdown. John Riggins, 2nd touchdown of the day. This is the 7th straight playoff game in which he scored at least once.
You know, coming into this ball game, Frank, I really felt that Didier may be a big play guy. And if you remember, we were talking about it in production meeting yesterday. He really is a fine player.
Mosley tacks on the extra point. And again, that missed extra point by Bob Thomas of the Bears begins to loom larger with the Redskins just 6 points down.
Take a look at Mike Singletary, the effort he makes to get up in there and try to make the play. Look at that effort. You can't ask a guy to give any more, but the offensive line does a good job of controlling the rest of the line of scrimmage. Watch Singletary now. See him? Watch him right in the middle. Come up over the top. Look at that. He wants to get into the backfield and make the play. He couldn't get there. John Riggins does a nice job of taking him on in for the score.
That touchdown ran us down to the 5-second mark in the 3rd quarter as Riggins inhales some oxygen on the sideline.
Frank, I have a little interesting stat to interject at this time. The Bears have been outscored by 77 points this year in the 4th quarter. We better see how they play in the 4th quarter.
Well, the Hogs and their friends are enjoying this day before New Year's Eve.
Look at those people. You can't believe those guys. Can you imagine putting on that mask and all that kind of stuff and coming to a football game?
These, in some cases, are, I understand, very prominent business executives.
In some cases, it might even be an improvement in looks, huh?
I don't know about that. Well, the turnover gets you every time, and it did that time as the Bears fumble, giving the Redskins only 36 yards to move, and Theismann has now improved his numbers to 19 out of 29 for 268 yards. Is kicking off. This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Galt out to the 10, 15. Fumbles the football, and I believe it had been whistled dead. The play had been whistled dead. It'll be the Bears' ball at the 19-yard line.
Somebody with a 4 on his jersey made that hit. It was a great hit. I think it might have been Rich Mowdy, number 84. You know, he's the wide receiver. You don't find many wide receivers that'll make that kind of play. Now look at him bringing it up. Now see 84, look at that hit. Beautiful hit, and especially when you consider it's a wide receiver. I don't even know if they have that in his contract, Frank.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Bears 23, the Redskins 17. Frank Lieber with Dick Vermeil back at RFK Stadium. Last quarter for one of these teams about to get underway. That's Jack Kent Cooke, the owner of the Redskins, and they're going to have to get a safety belt for his seat in the press box.
I'll tell you, that guy's a great owner because he doesn't care what it costs to win. He gives the coaches everything they need to win. Then, of course, he expects you to win.
Obviously. First and 10 Bears from the 19. Payton takes the handoff from Fuller, gets across the 20, maybe a yard on the play, and Ken Coffey comes up from the strong safety to make the stop. It's interesting what's happened with these injuries with the Redskins. Some of the people who have come on defense particularly, Curtis Jordan, who replaced Mark Murphy when he was hurt, and Murphy is an all-pro last year, played in the Pro Bowl, and he can't get his job back because of this man.
That happens all the time in the National Football League. Another guy gets the opportunity and the playing time, and all of a sudden he's better than the coaches thought he was.
2nd and 8. Bears at their 21. Fuller sending Suey in motion. Going long for Galt. Galt had it for a moment and dropped it. Darrell Green back there on coverage. And Galt saying he hit me on the elbow. That should be pass interference.
Here it is, bump and run coverage right down the sideline. It's right tight. Here's two great track men running for the football. That's a drop pass, not a knockdown pass. Willie Galt should make that play. Darrell Green is maybe one of the few corners in the league that can run with the likes of a Willie Galt.
It's tough to time your pass from a quarterback standpoint when you go to a guy like Galt, isn't it?
Oh, it is. You've got to let the ball go. You cannot hold on to the ball too long because he'll outrun your arm.
3rd and 8 upcoming for the Bears at their 20-yard line. Just underway in the final period. The Bears leading the Redskins 23-17 at stake a berth in the NFC title game next week against the 49ers in San Francisco. Here's Fuller on the rollout. Looking downfield, he's in trouble. Brought behind the line of scrimmage, Malott, number 57, and Brooks, number 69, and the Bears will have to punt it.
There's a real heads-up football player. Drilled as a linebacker coming out of Penn State. Played other positions as well, Frank, but he's really a well-disciplined football player. He does what he's supposed to do, then he adds a little impromptu to it like he did there and makes the big play.
A little hard to tell what the wind is doing here. RFK is completely enclosed. It does swirl around a little bit. Finzer back to punt. Nelms standing on his own 40. They've got Green back there, too. But Nelms fields the punt at the 45. Nelms to midfield to the 45 to the 40. Inside the 40 to the 36.
Great punt return. Good overall execution by everybody, Frank.
37 on the punt, 22 on the return, and the tackle made by the punter, Dave Finzer.
Now watch this. He gets a nice block by Darrell Green right there on the linebacker. Gets another brush block. He gets outside. Now other people have overrun the ball, and he darn near breaks that thing.
13 minutes, 27 seconds left to play in the football game. The Bears leading the Redskins, but the Redskins are coming on. Line your punter to save a touchdown with a tackle, but that's what happened that game.
There's number 15, Dave Finzer, in the middle of the screen. He's making the tackle. You know, he came into this ball game with one tackle to his credit in 16 games. He just made his second one for the year, Frank.
And possibly saved the touchdown, which, coupled with an extra point, would give the Redskins the lead. They were in front 3-0 in the first period. It's been their only lead of the game. 1st and 10 from the 36 of the Bears. They go with Riggins. And Riggins gets to the 34. Well, you mentioned a few moments ago that the Bears have had problems in the fourth quarter. On the other hand, Redskins seem to do well.
They do. You can see right here that the Chicago Bears are minus points in the fourth quarter, where the Redskins are plus points in the fourth quarter.
2nd down, 8. Washington at the Chicago 34-yard line. Didier is wide to the right side. Monk in the slot. Now Monk starts in motion. Theismann back to throw it. Pumps it once, gets rid of the ball, but was under heavy pressure and may have just thrown it away.
You can see what happened on that. Art Monk was the motion man trying to shake the defender, and he fell down.
That'll set up a 3rd and 8. And again, they need some more yardage here to get within Mosley's effective field goal range. At this point, you're talking about a 50-yard field goal attempt, maybe 51 for Mosley.
And Mosley, from that distance, is 12 for 41 in his career, so he'd like to have a little bit closer.
Washington 6 out of 12.
Looks like
third down conversions.
Looks like they're coming out for Frank.
They're showing blitz fumble. Theismann comes up with the ball, and the Redskins retain possession at the 40-yard line, but that will put them out of the field goal range of Mosley, and the punting crew will come on. Dan Hampton threw there quickly.
This is one reason some people don't like the shotgun, Frank. It was a high snap, and Joe saw the rush coming in, the ball going up high, and he got in between field and the ball and protected himself.
There's a shotgun again. The Redskins haven't used it all year. Now you bring it out in the playoffs. Is that the time to bring it out?
You can do it. Yeah. They've had a few high snaps, but you can do it. It isn't as difficult as most people really think it is, especially the fans.
Well, up until this point, Joe Gibbs said he wants no part of it. But he's changed his mind with this Bear defense. High kick, fair catch. Fisher at about the 10.
Nice punt.
So the Bears will take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line after the 30-yard punt by Jeff Hay. Curtis Jordan, the Redskin defensive back we were talking about a moment ago, and the word we get from below is that he may have suffered a fractured collarbone. He's putting his jersey back on. He's certainly not intending to come back in the ballgame.
The only
good news to come out of that, they've got an all-pro to replace him in Mark Murphy, who was injured a good portion of the season.
He gets his job back the same way that Curtis Jordan earned his job, through the injury routine.
Bears leading 23-17. But the momentum of late has been with the Redskins. 1st and 10 from the 10. Fuller with the pitch to Payton. And Payton is dropped behind the line of scrimmage and then pulls his way forward beyond the 10 out to the 11-yard line. Vintage Walter Payton. That looked like a sure loss on the play.
Watch how tough this guy is. He's deep in the I formation. He's going to toss him the ball. He gets it deep right there. He gets it tucked away. Now he gets turned up inside. He's getting the block right there. He gets up inside. He gets hit right there. Now watch him just keep going. Watch him. He's not sacrificing his body. Look at him. He's still fighting and struggling. Not every running back in the National Football League will do that, Frank.
A loss of a couple of yards turned into a gain of a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 for the Bears at their 12. Calvin Thomas in that backfield along with Payton behind Fuller, who retreats to the goal line and is in trouble and down at the 3. So the pressure that time applied by the Washington Redskins, who have sacked Fuller for the 3rd time this afternoon. It was Mel Kaufman, 55, and Malott, 57.
Here he is dropping straight back. It looks like he has good protection initially. He has time. He's going to stop up. Here comes Rich Malott again, 57. And it's 55 there, Mel Kaufman, number 55. They did a nice job of getting there. The linebackers coming into this game have 21 sacks between them. They've already picked up about 3 or 4 in this ball game.
It is now 3rd down. The Bears need 16 for the 1st down with the ball at their own 4-yard line. And the battle of the sacks, as Fuller's having trouble just trying to call the play in the huddle. He's right beneath the stands, the end zone stands, which are no more than 5 yards from the back of the end zone. And that's got to be the noisiest place on the field, because he's in the end zone huddling. He's no more than 7 or 8 yards from the stands.
Fred Silva charged them with a timeout, and Steve Fuller does not like it. And I'll tell you, if there's one referee in the National Football League you don't want to argue with, you don't argue with Fred Silva. Who's proud to be the 12th man?
Well, about 55,000 people are in the stands here. They're all proud.
You bet they're proud. I used to think the 12th man was the referee. They didn't even like me.
10 minutes, 41 seconds left to play in the game.
Here you are. Look at this, a great shot coming out of the end zone.
They have to get to the 20-yard line, just beyond, to pick up the 1st down. Oh, Payton takes a tremendous hit at the line of scrimmage and moves it out to about the 7 for a pickup of 3, but the Bears will be punting from the end zone. Ken Coffey, number 48, with the big hit.
Watch the handoff deep in the backfield, and watch this defensive back, Kenny Coffey, number 48, flash. See, there's a hole. Here he comes. Bang! He does a real nice job of putting a hit on Walter Payton.
Redskins should come out with excellent field position as Finzer prepares to punt from the back of the end zone. Nelms is standing actually in Bear territory at the 48-yard line.
Here's when you evaluate how good your punter is. This guy's good. He got a nice punt up, not very far, but he hung it up there good.
Nelms made the catch and maybe took a little bit of a gamble, not signaling for the fair catch as he's dropped immediately, but the Redskins are in great shape with a first down at the Bear 40 when we come back. He's Bob Thomas, the Bears kicker, and the reason that the Bears lead is only 6 points is this missed extra point try by Thomas back in the second quarter.
Here it is, Frank, and you know, this guy has a Chicago Bear record going for him right now of 12 straight field goals in a row, and here he misses an extra point.
It could come back to haunt him and the Bears. Redskins first and 10 at the Chicago 40 with 9:52 left to play in the game. The fake to Riggins. Theismann in trouble behind the line of scrimmage and goes down under the rush of Steve McMichael, number 76, the fifth-year man from Texas.
Steve McMichael has done a real good job. He came into this ball game, Frank, with 22.5 career sacks. Take a look at Steve McMichael now. You'll see him flash from the right corner of your screen. He's on Mark May 73. He just threw him to the ground, and here he comes, number 76, to get to the quarterback, doing a nice job. Had 10 sacks coming into this game. You know what he does? You know what his hobby is? Hunting rattlesnakes. That's got to be tougher than sacking the quarterback, isn't it?
That's got to be a defensive lineman's hobby. It's second down, 16 for the Redskins at the 46 of the Bears. Again, Theismann goes down. We get a flag, and the big hit that time by Richard Dent, and he really leveled Theismann. But the dreaded hanky has fallen.
Offense, number 62, holding, decline, third down.
Here's a shot of it right down ground level. Here's McMichael, Steve McMichael, 76, and you can see Morristown, number 62, reaching around and grabbing him and pulls him away from the quarterback. You've got to call that. He was activated today. He might be having more problems than he normally would because of the lack of playing time.
Give the Bears defense a lot of credit. They have now shoved the Redskins back in their own end of the field. This drive started at the Bears 40. It is now third down, 24 needed for the first down, and the Redskins are back at their 46, and Joe Theismann wants a timeout.
3-second clock had run down, and he didn't want to get called for a penalty.
So Theismann will come to the sidelines for a word with Joe Gibbs. Of course, the winner of this game goes on to San Francisco's Candlestick Park next Sunday afternoon to take on the San Francisco 49ers for the NFC title and the berth in the Super Bowl at Stanford at Palo Alto, either Chicago or Washington. It all gets underway with the NFL today at 3:30 Eastern Time next Sunday afternoon. Will it be the Bears or the Redskins? The next 9 minutes and 22 seconds will tell the story.
Next week, the NFL Today will be on location out there, Frank, and fortunately, I get to go along with Brent and Jimmy and everybody and get out there and have a great time in my hometown area.
Instead of watching it from up here, you get to watch it from the field.
Right, I can sit
just like your old coaching days.
Yeah.
Third down. Redskins need 24 for the first down at their own 46. Monk in motion. Theismann escapes Hampton. Still looking downfield. Pass is almost intercepted. What in the world was Dent doing down there with Joe Washington? Richard Dent, number 95, was down there helping on the coverage with Joe Washington.
They do peel off defensive ends from time to time in coverage when linebackers have been committed to rush. Of course, not all defensive linemen can do that, and I have seen many times, Frank, where a defensive lineman has been given that assignment, but he didn't carry it out.
Well, Buddy Ryan will tell you that the Bears have 60 different coverages, and they try to put the pressure on everybody and make it very difficult for the quarterback to do a quick read. 4th and 24. Hayes to do the punting. Give the Bears defense tremendous credit. Look at this punt. Fisher is going to let it bounce at the 5, takes a Redskin bounce, and will be down at the 7-yard line. Up inside there, 10, Manley. Great pressure on Fuller. Almost got him for the safety. He did get it out to the 2 or 3 yard line.
That was a run blocking action pass. Make the run all the way. Now take a watch here. They're going to take a look. He makes the fake. See the lineman pull there, and he didn't get over there to trap the Manley where he was supposed to get. Therefore, Manley's in the backfield there. Almost got him by the face mask. That was a trap pass. It is a very effective pass if the guard gets all the way over to trap Dexter Manley.
It is 2nd and 16 for the Bears with the ball marked at their own 3-yard line. Fuller sending Galt wide left. Darrell Green will cover him. Brad Anderson is wide to the right. He's got Vernon Dean on him. And Fuller from the end zone gets it out to Payton at about the 7. Payton to the 10 and run out of bounds. Looks to be short of the first down around the 15 or 16-yard line. They needed to net the 19 for the first. And they're going to spot it at about the 16.
You see Payton on the left-hand corner of your screen. He sets, he comes outside, he's running a little option route on the linebacker. He turns out nicely. There the ball is to him. Now you got to make that tackle. And Malott, number 57, doesn't miss many, but on that guy, you've got to get both arms and your head across the bow. Take a look, Okowitz, number 52. He's hunting him up. Here comes Butts being powered. They got 2 people blocking him. Here comes Manley charging in there. Holy mackerel, what a war going on inside the trenches.
Third down, Bears need 4 for the first down from their 15.
We're going to run out of time, Frank.
Fuller caught behind the line. Trapped at the 6-yard line by Malott. Oh, he's played a game. Rich Malott, one of the Redskins who was injured earlier this year, had an elbow injury and has come back to play one of his best games.
I think he's going to get the defensive game ball if they win the game today. He has really played well. It looked like to me this was a design rollout. Start straight back, now go to your right, now roll on out. See, maybe not. I can't tell by here, but there's Malott coming up and contain and does a nice job of pulling him down. That's 3 sacks, I think, for him today.
Actually, 3.5 the way they figure it out of the 5 that the Redskins have recorded.
Now you're given credit for a half a sack, Frank, when another guy gets there with you and helps you get him down.
Mike Ditka talking to David Finzer. Of course, Mike is one of a Tom Landry protege in the playoffs, along with Dan Reeves of Denver.
The people at Penn State are really, really high on this guy, Rich Malott. They're very proud of what he's done in the National Football League.
Peach Bowl comes your way tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That's right here on CBS Sports. Again, Finzer backed up 8 yards deep in the end zone, and again, Nelms standing at about midfield. 8 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in the game, and Finzer's going to take a safety. He talked it over with Mike Ditka on the sidelines, and rather than risk a possible touchdown here with a block kick or giving the Redskins great field position, they're going to take the safety, which will make it 23-19. Of course, the Bears will have to kick it away. And it looks like a few guys on the Bears bench are looking around saying, what was that for?
They were surprised. I was not surprised. I wouldn't say that would be the same thing I would do or a lot of other coaches would do, but I think it is a good decision on his part. The field goal can't beat him anyway. The touchdown's going to beat him. Here it is right now. He's taken that snap. People expect him to punt the ball. He just steps out the back of the end zone, giving him the safety. Now he can move the ball out to the 20-yard line, get the free punt, and really give the Washington Redskins much more yards, many more yards rather, to go to score.
You think it's a good call?
I think it's a good call.
As you said, now the Redskins still need a touchdown to win this football game. They're 4 points down, so a field goal isn't going to pull it out.
It doesn't change anything other than, even if before they needed the touchdown, 2 field goals would have said it as a tie. See?
Well, may or may not come back to haunt Mike Ditka. And only time will tell. Ditka wants to give his defense a little better field position to work against the Redskins offense. And so with the free kick, Finzer can punt it away from the 20-yard line, and Nelms will be deep. There's the time remaining in the football game. Nelms counting heads to make sure there are 11 Redskins on the field. That's all the help he can get.
Got it up pretty high.
And a little bit short. Nelms at the 35 to the 40, 45, 50, and down to the 45-yard line. So I don't know if they gained that much.
No, didn't get in. It was not a real good punt. But not a good punt. A good job of special team execution by the Washington Redskins, and of course Mike Nelms, one of the fine punt returners.
So Finzer's got to be a little unhappy. He didn't get more of his foot into that ball because the Redskins again come up with excellent field position. Last time they punted from that area, they were down on the 40-yard line to begin with.
Take a look at the punter here now. He had a free kick. Now he's got to go in and get involved with the tackle again. He's on the tackling chart 3 times this year.
First and 10, Redskins at the Bear 45-yard line. Straight out pass. Theismann trying to get it away, slips Hampton's grasp and throws the football away.
This could have been putting the ball down. Look at Ditka. That's it, Mike. Get mad.
Well, he thought that, you know, the rule says, again, it calls on the official to do a little mind reading to determine whether or not in the official's judgment that he was just throwing the football to avoid a loss. And the official, Fred Silva, the referee, said no.
No, that's a matter of judgment right there.
Receiver in the area means nothing. It's all in the official's judgment, whether or not he thinks that quarterback was throwing that ball deliberately to avoid a loss.
They're in that 46 defense again, Frank.
Second and 10 for the Redskins at the Bear 45. Theismann over the middle to Monk. Close to a first down at the 35-yard line. Again, depending on where they spot it.
I think he got the first down.
Durson making the stop for the Chicago Bears.
Watch Art Monk in the slot in the 3-point stance, number 81, right there on Dave Durson, 21. He beat him inside, just looking for the little quick slant, first down, I think. When you're in trouble, Frank, you go to Art Monk. That's all there is to it.
And that's the 9th time they've gone to him for a total of 120 yards. First down, Redskins at the Bear 35. Joe Gibbs, who actually took a day off during this 2-week period, little duck hunting.
Went goose hunting and duck hunting with his son. He said, you know, Dick, I couldn't believe how beautiful the sun is when it comes up in the sloughs. I just couldn't believe it, how beautiful. Everyone thought I was crazy seeing all that kind of beauty in there.
And Mike Ditka didn't take any days off. He worked on the 49ers for a week, figuring he'd be there. Here's Theismann. Protection good this time. Now he's got some problems. Joe Theismann, who's run more today than he has all year, delivers the pass downfield and connects to Don Warren, who is seldom used as a receiver by the Redskins. And that'll be right at the 25-yard line, and that is another first down for Washington.
Now you're going to see play action fake, movement right there. Here's a little fake to Riggins again. Now watch him scramble back. Now watch him scramble. Here comes a rush right there. He starts to pump the ball. He can't get it. He starts scrambling. He gets around Wachter, number 70. He's out there. Here comes Singletary. He gets the ball off to Dave Warren. And I'll tell you, Warren probably went into their scramble drill right there. Broke his pattern off and got over.
Theismann may still be the difference in this game. First down, Redskins just inside the Bear 25.
Audible, Frank. Audible is going deep.
Theismann throwing the ball away down the far sideline. Muhammad was the closest receiver to it. Mr. Getting up slowly.
Yeah, he's getting tired of rushing that quarterback. You know, in the second half, they've been throwing the ball so much more. That means he's rushing the passer all the time. Plus, he's rushing around that 305-pound guy over there. That takes a lot out of you.
Joe Theismann now 21 completions and 35 tries for 289 yards. In addition to that, he's picked up 38 yards rushing in 5 carries. So Joe T's got him a workout. Second and 10.
Take a look, Joe. It's the blitz down. All up the front, Frank.
Theismann looks far side, delivers the football for Muhammad, but he couldn't find it.
He had to get rid of it early because, again, that Mr. Steve McMichaels, number 76, was right in there and didn't give him time.
That'll set up a 3rd and 10. assuming they don't pick up the first down here. Be interesting to see if they go for the field goal. A lot of pressure that time. Once again on Joe Theismann. And McMichael, number 76, in the forefront.
They're taking an awful long time, Frank. That clock's down to 10 seconds, 9 seconds already. They're going to have trouble getting it off, and that's tough if you can't audible now.
4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Just got it away. Theismann on 3rd and 10. Loses the ball. However, it's going to be rolled an incompleted forward pass. They say his arm was in motion. That time it was Al Harris, number 90, who was in there quickly.
A lot of pressure on him. I'll tell you, there's extra pressure on the quarterback when you see that clock going down. That clock's going down. See number 90, Al Harris, standing there right to the right of your screen. There he's coming. He's picked up by little Joe Washington. It's a physical mismatch, and Harris gets in there. Joe Washington at about 5'9", 178 pounds.
41-yard field goal attempt by Mosley, who hit earlier this afternoon from 25 yards out.
He's only 1 for 5 this year at this distance.
It's long enough. It is no good. Mosley has missed it left. So Mosley, after hitting his last 6 of the regular season and the field goal of 25 yards in the first half, misses this one.
Straight on kicker, fans. You don't see many of these. I think he's the only one. There's the ball coming, and there it goes. It's heading right to the kicker's left, our right, outside the crossbar. Take a look. Let's see if we can watch his reaction. Nice follow through, nice for him. He knows he missed it. He knows he missed it.
That would have brought the Redskins to within 1 point. Mike Ditka's reaction on the sideline. We get a break. And more important, the Bears get the ball in favorable field position for the first time in quite some time. Who missed the field goal becomes a free agent after this season. That probably didn't help his negotiating situation any.
There's old Dan Hampton. Maybe his hunch is right, Frank, huh? Number 99.
We've got 6 minutes, 11 seconds to go. Last 2 times, the Bears had the football. They were inside their 10. This time, they started the previous line of scrimmage, which is the 24-yard line, after the missed field goal attempt.
You really have to give the Bears defensive coaching staff a lot of credit for the super job they have done. Buddy Ryan and Jim LaRue.
Fuller has hit 8 out of 13 as the Bears have thrown it sparingly but effectively. Payton around the right side looking for his opening, and Payton has 8, maybe 9 yards on the play. Waiting for his blockers.
This is the old Green Bay sweep. Pull both guards, lead with the back. Take a look now. The quarterback's going to reach out, hand the ball. See both guards pulling there. There's Mark Bort, 62. There he is. He's out behind the other guard there, right now, number 79. See him, right? He's going to get the block. Good job there, Mr. Becker. He's turning and spinning. He steps on his own man, then gets put to the ground. There's Mr. Mark Bortz, who got a block on the backside left guard. Kurt Becker really got the key block, number 79, at the right guard position.
McKinnon, who played at wide receiver earlier, is not in there right now. They've got Brad Anderson. Suey tried to pick up the first down and is contained behind the line of scrimmage at the 32-yard line for a loss of a yard or 2 on the play. Matt Suey stopped by the Redskin defense. Redskins have been rather remarkable on defense themselves. Only 2 different players that have started all 16 games.
Frank, how'd you like to run into this great big Dave Butts? See, now Suey's going to cut back. Now there comes Dave Butts at about 295 pounds, and he's just going to bring him down to the ground. That's it, Matt. Hold on to that football. I would say that Kurt Becker, for the most part, the right guard, has done a pretty good job on Dave Butts today.
3rd down, about a yard and a half now, needed for the first down for the Bears at their 33. Big play here. Payton driving forward close to the 35-yard line, and it is going to be close for the first. Again, depending on where they spot it, it would appear that the Bears got the first down. Yes. Fred Silva, the referee, indicating first down for the Bears, who would like nothing more than now to work on that clock, which, as you can see, just over 4 minutes left to play in the game, and the Bears nursing a 4-point advantage over the Redskins at 23-19. Mike Ditka, as we said, a protege of Tom Landry. Said he learned a lot of things from Landry. mainly consistency and fairness, he said, were the two biggest things. Payton almost caught behind the line, and now he is caught trapped behind the line of scrimmage at the 33-yard line as the Redskins kept stringing it out until Ken Coffey, number 48, got to Walter Payton.
Frank, that's the old Green Bay sweep as run by Green Bay. Really, the same way they put the fullback, he blocks the defensive end in this case.
Green and Galt doing a little shoving, exchanging a few words.
I noticed during the ball game that Galt, number 83, was doing a real good job of blocking on the run, and maybe Darrell Green just didn't like that time.
Oh, Willie's a little tougher than a lot of people give him credit for.
He's one of the toughest track men I've ever seen, you know.
Second down, 12 for the Bears at their 33-yard line. Payton, 21 carries, 94 yards. Fuller throwing, shoestring catch made over at the far sideline, but not much picked up on that particular play as the reception goes to McKinnon, who's back in there.
The fourth quarter really hasn't been a big quarter for the Bears, but they're turning that around right now.
There are the stats, and you can see that they are really in a hole compared to the Redskins in fourth quarter scoring.
They're minus 24 points where the Redskins are minus 25. And early in the game, I made a mistake and I said minus 77. That's where they are really for the game. They've given up 77 more points defensively than they have scored.
Timeout, 2 minutes, 54 seconds left to play in the game. And the Bears leading the Redskins 23-19. I imagine you're looking forward to that trip west.
I might even take a little drive right across that Golden Gate. Head up to the Napa Valley.
If you were Bill Walsh, and you know Bill as well as most people, I know he's a good friend, you've coached with him and all, who would you rather play, the Bears or the Redskins?
Who would I rather play if I were Bill Walsh? I'll tell you, I can't answer that. You know, I would say I'd rather play the Bears, really, because, again, Theismann is the kind of guy, you know, he can beat you by himself, you know, and I'm not so sure. And Fuller's doing a great job today that he could do it 2 weeks in a row.
Well, we're expecting to get Bill Walsh with us live on the post-game show, so maybe he can answer that question for you.
Probably better than I did. You had me backpedaling there, I'll tell you.
Third down and 7. Big play again for the Bears in this drive. They're at their 37-yard line. Fuller looking downfield, intended for Moorhead, the tight end, and out of the reach at the 45-yard line. And the Bears will have to give the football back and put the onus directly on the Redskins' highly touted offense and the Bears' #1 ranked defense. Ditka with an affectionate hug there for his quarterback, Fuller, considering he's missed the time he has with the shoulder separation. He's done a remarkable job.
There's a time to be at your best, Frank, and if you are truly the best defense in football, it's now time to prove it.
See if Finzer come up with a big kick this time. High and a little bit short, but it takes a fair hop inside the 25 and will be down at the 19-yard line. So Joe Theismann will come on the field 81 yards away from putting the Redskins ahead. And keep in mind, field goal won't help them. They need a touchdown to move on in the playoffs. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the game. 44 on the punt, nothing on the return.
You know, as effective as the blitz and dogs have been on those early downs, I think for the Bears, I wouldn't be conservative. I'd just keep going after them. Heck with it.
You know, we talked earlier about playoff experience. This is where it should come in handy for the Redskins.
If it doesn't come in handy now, it's not going to come in handy, Frank.
Theismann, 21 out of 37, 289 yards. First and 10 Redskins at their 18. Big rush, hit by Dent as he delivers the football, and Bell had a certain interception and couldn't hang on to it. Todd Bell, the safety, had running room in front. And Dent put the big rush on Theismann, and a lot came off of that pass. And the Bears bench is getting a little bit nervous right now. You saw Mitch Frank, the young tight end, number 89.
Take a look at Dent, number 89 there, coming around the outside. 99, rather, Hampton, 95, Dent, coming all the way around the outside of big Jacoby, and he has trouble. Joe has a little trouble. Now he has the ball all locked up there for the interception, and he drops it. Oh, God. If there's a time to catch it, Mr. Bell, that's the time.
Second and 10, Redskins at their 18. Each team has one timeout left. Again, pressure on Theismann. He's flushed out of the pocket and caught from behind at the 15-yard line. And again, it was Dent, the second-year man from Tennessee State, who set all the school records there, broke the record set by Claude Humphrey and by Ed Too Tall Jones, and is the premier sack man in the NFC this year.
Here we go. Now, that sack was actually caused by the coverage taking away the pattern downfield. He gets back there. You'll see Hampton inside being worked on by Rush Graham, 68. Now, you see Dent coming around 95 right there. He flushes him right up there and gets him from the backside. I really give credit to the coverage downfield on that one, right?
And he's working against a Pro Bowler in Joe Jacoby, the 300-pounder. Dent has 3 sacks. Redskins have a 3rd and 13 coming up at their 15-yard line. Sideline throw will get him back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
I don't know why you'd throw it short, Joe.
Dave Durson, number 22 on the tackle, Art Monk on the reception, and that will run the clock down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in the game. The Bears leading the Redskins 23-19. We'll be right back. Down, and perhaps the last stand for the Washington Redskins in the 1984 NFL playoffs.
Now what do you do, Frank, if you're calling the defense? Do you go ahead and run blitzes, or do you drop off and cover?
We'll find out momentarily. Joe Theismann going against the #1 defense in the NFL. 4th and 10. Redskins on their own 18. They need a touchdown. They go down the far sideline. Overthrown for Muhammad. And the Bears will take over at the Washington 18-yard line. They need only now to run out the remaining 1 minute and 54 seconds. And the Redskins have only 1 timeout left. And the Bears doing a little bit of celebrating over on the far side.
It goes back again, Frank, to giving credit to those defensive coaches, the Chicago Bears and their players. They've done a great job, a super job keeping pressure, and you cannot win if you're going to get sacked a number of times. It really is tough, unless you turn around and sack their quarterback.
And offensively, Fuller has done an amazing job. 9 out of 15, 211 yards. The big one for 75 yards to Galt in the first half. And Payton has rushed for 94 yards and 21 carries. 1st and 10 Bears at the Redskin 18-yard line. They have silenced this crowd as Suey takes the handoff and carries to the 15.
Redskins have been sacked 7 times, Frank. How many times did they get after the Bears?
5 times. 5 sacks on Fuller as the Redskins call timeout with 1:47 to go. And the Chicago Bears look like they're heading to San Francisco, and the Redskin fans are heading for the exits. That was the Redskins' last time out. Coming up, the NFL postgame show. Brent, Irv, and Jimmy the Greek will all be on hand. And I guess we can pretty well say right now that it'll be the Chicago Bears of Mike Ditka against the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game. That's a look at the Washington bench and Art Monk, who's had a great day just staring ahead into nothingness. Nothing to compare with this feeling.
They haven't had to experience that feeling in recent years, you know, other than the Super Bowl and getting beaten in the Super Bowl. So, but there's always been a team on the other side experiencing that. Now they know what it feels like.
2nd and 7. Payton back to the line of scrimmage. We're going to go into the Bears locker room after the game. We'll talk to Mike Ditka and some of his victorious team. There he is. How about that? First time that the Redskins have lost a playoff game at home in 44 years, and the first time that the Bears have won a playoff game since 1963. Joe Theismann looking on as the final 1 minute and 15 seconds of his year winds down, but it's been a good year for him.
It's been a very good year for him. It really has. A lot of people will probably blame him and all that kind of stuff because they didn't win today, because the quarterback takes the blame more often than not. But I don't think he's responsible for the day.
Fuller handing off to Payton, who will carry it down to the 12-yard line. That'll set up 4th down. And 5 needed for the first down, but no way the Redskins can stop the clock. Joe Jacoby, who has had his hands full this afternoon with young Richard Dent, perhaps come away with new respect for that young Bear defensive lineman.
He had respect for him going into the ball game. When I talked to him in the locker room on Friday, he knew he was going to have his hands full.
Well, the Bear defense against the 49er offense. That should be interesting.
It will be. Bill Walsh has always done a great job of attacking the unusual defense.
30-second clock ran down prior to the snap. With 22 seconds left to play in the game, the Bears will be set back 5 yards for delay of game. And Fuller going over to the sidelines for a word with head coach Mike Ditka. Fuller was a tremendous athlete at Clemson University. Great all-sports star. So you look at some members of the Redskin bench. That's Calvin Muhammad, who came over from the Raiders and did such a great job for him during the course of the year. He cost him a 4th-round pick, but Joe Gibbs thinks he has something that will make him great. Jordan, who will leave with a broken collarbone, to doing such a great year this year, filling in for Mark Murphy at the safety position.
Now he has 2 pains, the pain of a loss and the pain of a broken shoulder, broken collarbone.
Which hurts more?
I think the loss.
The Bears all pumped up. See the man in the middle there with the gray hair? That's Greg Landry.
That's Coach Ed Hughes, the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator, with the game plan in his hand, talking to Mike.
When Greg Landry came into the league, Willie Gall told us yesterday he was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Not Greg, Willie.
He saw him walk in the locker room, start putting on a uniform. He said, well, who the heck is this guy?
Had a business suit on, tie, and he said, what are they letting these guys in the locker room for?
The gray
Somebody
hair.
said, that's your quarterback. And the next Sunday against Detroit, he found out he was his quarterback because he caught a touchdown pass from him. So all the emotion of seeing your season go down the drain on the Redskins bench as the Bears have really overcome a hurdle here. This Washington crowd and a fine Redskin team. 4th down play. Walter Payton down inside the 10. And looks like he may have the first down at the 9-yard line. Clock still moving with 14 seconds. It is a first down. The Bears don't have to run off another play, and that will put Payton over 100 yards on the afternoon. 106 yards on 24 carries. We got the clock stopped with 8 seconds to go. And the fans are starting to come on the field, and Ditka has come across and already shaking hands with Joe Gibbs. But the officials are saying, wait a minute, we got 8 more seconds to play. And the reason they stopped the clock, the Redskins are out of timeouts, is because apparently a measurement's been demanded by the Redskins. I wonder if Mike's going to have to come across and shake hands again.
I doubt it. Joe Gibbs is a great football coach. He's got a lot of class. And, boy, I wish I could explain to the fans the feeling you have as a coach when you've just lost a ball game of this.
Hold everything. They did not get the first down, and the Redskins offense is going to get one more play, or how many they can put in 8 seconds. They are 91 yards away from winning this football game.
Where's Flutie? Remember that?
Flutie is the guy they need right now. He's in Dallas getting ready for the Cotton Bowl, which you'll see on CBS Tuesday. Have to wait on Tuesday to see Mr. Flutie in action. I think the Bears will have a few players deep.
I think they'll have a couple guys. I know this, they won't run a safety blitz.
Another official discussion here prior to the snap. Nothing to do here but the old Hail Mary. Hope they bat it around a while. Maybe you get a pass interference called at midfield and maybe get another shot at it.
Or the pass interference penalty downfield, Frank.
Bears have got 3 men deep standing on the 40-yard line. In fact, they're backing them up to midfield. 8 seconds to go. There's the Hail Mary. Ball is jarred loose. Still 1 second left on the clock. So they'll get another pop at it. is kind of prolonging the agony, isn't it?
It is. And I'll tell you, talk about agony. That was the feeling I was trying to explain to the fans when you're the head coach and deeply involved in a ball game like this, and you know it's gone, you've lost it, and you can appreciate all the good things that have happened, but right now at this time, they don't mean very much to you. It just tears you apart inside.
Stay tuned. Lots more to come at our post-game show. We'll hear from Bill Walsh of San Francisco. We'll go in the Bears locker room, talk to a lot of happy Bears, including Mike Ditka, and maybe have a couple of surprises. 2nd and 10. Time is gone. Intercepted on the last play of the game. The interception pulled down by Mike Richardson. It has ended. The Bears are on their way to San Francisco for the NFC Championship game next Sunday afternoon against the 49ers, 23-19. So the strategy didn't work out badly for Mike Ditka, taking the safety. No.